Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Live from the Xfinity Studios. This is the Anthony Gargano Show presented by the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, especially to the Flyers. What a night. Fly Guys, home opener against the defending champs. Come away with a great game, man. 5-2 win last night. Cooch was outrageous. Couple goals, couple of assists. Great game. Good energy in the building. A lot of excitement. They played well. Look, they played well, man. Like, the schedule is brutal. You come out, you play Florida tough, the opener down there. Then you go to Carolina, and you play Carolina really well, right? Like, you should have won if not for the bad call. And you come back home. And in front of your home crowd, back again against the champs, and you win. Good night. And Za'Darius, what a pass. He's a beast. Za'Darius. So, good night. So, especially a good morning to the Flyers. Now, there's other issues. We will talk about the Eagles in just a moment. But the other news of the day was Topper. Rob Thomson back in the fold. Now, I was asked yesterday, how do you feel about it? I have to be honest with you. Even though there's a couple moves, maybe I disagree with, I think you should have left Luzardo in. I think you should have, I don't like Kirkering coming in a muddy inning. Like, he needs to start in a clean inning. I know he got the ground ball, but we saw what happened. He's better off in a clean inning. So there, game one, I'm more of a leave. Like, I would have left Luzardo in the game. And, either that or use Ranger, because now Ranger, you already thought about him being in relief. So it really revolved around the pitching. But everything else, I didn't have any issues, really. I think he's got a good demeanor. And, I don't think he's the problem. I really don't. I think if you have a good team, he can win. Like, I don't think he's a real issue. I know he's become a polarizing figure in town, but I don't think he's some dope. Like, he's a baseball lifer, man. I think a lot of his decisions, like, we can look at it, Monday morning quarterback. I mean, I'm pretty consistent in I trust my starting pitchers. That's how I would always manage. I would have given them the benefit of the doubt. Like, this staff, and again, I looked at the Luzardo one, and I realized that, a couple runners on base. I'm sorry, Sanchez. I'm going back. I'm saying Luzardo, but it was the Sanchez game where Sanchez got a couple runners on base, and I let him try to get out of it. Like, again, I'd rather have the Sanchez-Call matchup than having to go Muncy come in with Robertson and then asking Robertson to do an up-down. But, listen, that's the beauty of baseball is, like, you're looking at those moves and everything else. Ultimately, I think he's a good baseball man. He's got a great demeanor, and I think he's won a ton of games. He's not the issue. The issue is how they play and the makeup of the roster. Again, you got Harper with no coverage behind him. You can't have Bohm as your 4 protecting Harper. And you can't have Marsh hitting 5th. And ultimately, I think that's what killed you. I mean, they were in the Dodgers series. They get a little more hitting. If they have Teoscar, that's the difference, right? The big right-handed bat that protects Harper. That's the difference. So I look at this like, all right, Topper's not the least of my worries, all right? I'm fine with this. Now let's go in, and now let's figure out how to reshape the roster. Do you move Bryce back to the outfield? Do you go after Alonso? Like, I need a right-handed power bat. Now, I'm going to be greedy, and I'm going to want to re-sign Schwarber and sign Alonso. Now, I don't know how realistic that is in the budget, but I think the only way to maximize this group moving forward is that kind of move. Like you're already all the way in. Like you're spending $1 billion basically on two guys, Turner and Harper. I mean, you're in. You're in it. Like those guys aren't going anywhere. The Turner contract's immovable, right? So he's the batting champion. So you got to go. You got to go in. And my biggest thing that I want in the offseason is a right-handed bat that can protect Bryce Harper. Bryce is your biggest investment. You got to protect him. And he really hasn't had protection. Schwarber, again, you need a right-handed power bat, a legit power bat, not a doubles guy who masqueraded as a power guy in Castellanos. Like, you need a true power guy. But more of the Phillies in a moment. Let's get down to the football team. Because last night, the NFL, first of all, let's just say this. The league is just, in one word, improbable, right? Like, I look, and there are two teams that are 5-1. Two. It's Indianapolis, and it's Tampa Bay. Now, you have that on your bingo card. God bless you. The Bills go down last night in Atlanta. The Bears go to Washington and win in Washington. So the division looks like this. Eagles are top at 4-2. Washington at 3-3. Dallas at 2-3-1. Giants at 2-4. And look, it's early. It's 6 games. Like, we're through 6 games. So it's really early. It's too early to panic and all that stuff. Now, there are issues, and we'll get to the issues in a moment. The issue, which you have to look at, though, is how these teams are starting to separate themselves after 6 weeks. Like, the NFC North is a really good division. A lot of wins there. The NFC West, there's a lot of wins there. So you just got to have one eye out. Now, back to division, back to the Eagles. They got a big one coming up with Minnesota. Yesterday, we all know what the offenses look like. The offense has been an issue. So yesterday, there's Nick Sirianni, and he was asked about by Jeff McClain from the Inquirer, a frequent guest on the show, and Jeff asked a question, which is pertinent. Hey, did you talk about the play calling duties, a shift in who's calling the plays? And the reason why Jeff asked that, and he went on Twitter and said it later, is because a couple years ago, during a mini bye, he took himself out of the play calling mix and gave it to Steichen. Same thing after the bye week with Brian Johnson. So there's history there. So when he was asked the question, Nick, who is always a word salad guy with extra dressing, he says, no. Did you think? No. That one word, no, which is completely They're defensive. He's defensive. He has no answers. This offense is struggling. Why is this offense struggling? Because of two reasons. One, their O-line is just decimated, right? Like, banged up. It's not the same. Guys are hurt. Guys are out. And it's just not, the interior part of the line is not the same. You're not getting a push. And you're not who you are. They need to lean in to Jalen in the run game. Hurts has to be part of the run game. Now, here's the other issue. Does Hurts want to be part of the run game? That I don't know. Does he want to run? Or does he want to try to throw? Because the truth of the matter is, and we've talked about it numerous times, he's not a volume quarterback. Volume throwing quarterback. That's not the best use of his talents. He may want to be that guy. He maybe want to be Baker Mayfield or whatever. Pick your quarterback, Mahomes, Allen. But he's not the guy. He's not the guy that's going to throw it that many times. It's counterproductive to have him throw the ball. He's not good at it. Like, when they flood the zone, For a guy that needs to have guys wide open and not throw them open, that's not his strength. This is not an attack or anything else. This is just who the player is. He's got to lean into the run game. And there are issues here because I don't know how you fix it if, the run game was the panacea, right? They've always been predictable. Now, whether that's the play caller, the play designer, or Jalen, who has been the constant through all those OCs, because there's limited things that you're going to do with him at quarterback. You got to go back to RPO. Major RPO with him running the football. Hopefully that then you could throw off it. Because when he's on the move, he gets into a rhythm and he can throw the ball. And you saw the success in 2022. You got to go try to morph into that because this isn't working. And you got to also try to get Saquon the ball as a pass catcher. Like, that has to be a part of this offense. Good morning, VG.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I love the hat.
Oh, man.
You know what I love about you?
Fun game last night.
What I love about you is that you purposely wear whatever team has success, you'll put it on.
I'm not a band jumper. He said the same thing. I wore Flyers hat yesterday, too.
No. I wasn't saying it in a negative way. I'm saying it more I love about you. You purposely wear whoever had success. It's like your tribute.
Yeah, show some love.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, really, I wasn't saying. I like that.
That is one of the greatest passes I've ever seen in my life.
Dude,
they say he's soft. He got like dudes all over him.
Dude, that pass was, he's nasty.
I'm all in.
Toots texted right away. You see that? I'm like, yeah, I saw that.
I'm all in. And the power play 0 for 5 still, but more active. A little activity going on in the power play.
Listen,
they had some shots,
listen, they've played well to start the season. Now, Mitzkov's been quiet.
Man, he's a little in the doghouse.
Yeah.
Almost torch-like.
I know. I'm a little.
Maybe the guy doesn't get in shape. I don't know. I mean, Taka didn't play him in overtime the other night because he said he was only playing guys who were skating.
I mean, listen.
Here we go.
If you're going to do it now, now's the time to do it. I don't think the kid is. I think the kid's tough.
Yeah.
So I think the kid can take it.
Yeah. Dude, how about, big talk at homecoming. The pregame applause for him dwarfed any player they announced.
Well, it should. He means so much. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited to have Talk back. I told you that. I love the hire. I think it's great. I think they need a face.
Yeah.
You got a couple faces now. They were a faceless squad when, if you think about it, all those years, like during the 20 teens.
Chuck Fletcher years.
Right. It was horrible. They were mannequins. You didn't know who to point to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So now you have it. You got to, okay, we've talked about it.
Vladder looked good.
Listen, Vladder is good. I remember talking to Jonesy. We did this special. In fact, you guys check it out if you haven't seen it. We did an hour-long Flyer special to start the season, and it was a sit-down with Jonesy and Danny Briere and Talk and Dan Hilferty, who's the CEO. And it was a lot of fun. And it was basically just kind of taking the temperature of where we're at with everything. So it was a cool thing. Brennan did a great job.
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah, it was fun. I got hyped up watching it, right? So it gets you hyped up. But I was talking to Jonesy about Vladdy, all right? And he's like, dude, he goes, these goalies get better in their 30s. Goalies are fascinating creatures because they get better as they get older. And he goes, Vladar works. You're going to be surprised. He's a guy that can handle the load with Earson as the two.
I think so. And you see, it was a routine play, but there was a play on the side of the post where someone tried to jam it on the short side, but he didn't have to move. He didn't even flinch. Just perfect positioning. Knew where it was going ahead before it was even in motion. I don't know. He seems competent, at least so far back there.
He does.
Yeah.
No, and that's what
not flailing around.
No, well, that's what you need, right? You need that air of confidence.
Yeah.
Who's who understands how to play goalie. You're 38 years old. You've done to play goalie.
Yes, yeah.
Like he's done it. And especially the way, because their defense isn't where they want it to be. Obviously, that's where it's going to be once you build it. It's very young, right? So they're funneling shots from the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have a goalie that can move and that can anticipate.
Yeah, a little savviness, a little experience. Yeah.
So that's the system that Talk's playing, and Vladar fits that system.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, building was alive.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's great to have the building alive. Like that's something
I saw
I missed.
So many people on my Instagram timeline just throwing in. There's so many people down there at that game last night. It was like the place to be.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very cool. All right, let's go in order of news.
Yeah.
All right,
going.
So let's go to the topper.
Topper's back. Guess who's back? Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're going to pin that performance on Topper, and the frustrating thing was I watched the game last night, Brewers-Dodgers. I mean, I know the Brewers got a run in the ninth, but you just don't feel that they can go with the Dodgers. And it's like, the Phillies are right there, man. They're so close. Just a couple more bats, a couple more good at bats, and they're right there. I don't know. So Topper, as far as like, who's the reason that they didn't advance? I have him pretty far down, 4th or 5th, maybe. You know, he's got to have the Bryce Harper stamp of approval. So they got to be saying, yo, Topper's good in the locker room. We like him. But you know who doesn't like him? Chat.
I know.
Let's just see. Here are the comments that started this morning. Oh, brother. Oh, slopper. They'll never be a serious contender with this nonchalant playoff choking.
Oh, slopper.
Disgusting. What's the definition of an insanity quote? But he's a nice guy. Can't wait to hear that line for the billionth time. Good thing they're replacing the coaches and not Rob. Like, what's going on? They're just he's a lame joke. Sure is lame. They're just
Who's that, Eddie Wright? He's a lame.
A lame duck with Shade Beavers.
That's a good one.
Yeah, everybody's on top of them right now.
And
People just want to change. They want to see change.
Yeah,
you know?
I listen, I understand that, which is why we're like, I get it. I look at it more pragmatically. Like, he's not at the top of my list. Like, I got to reshape this team. Like, the lineup is just out of whack. It's the lineup. You need to protect Bryce.
And I think this is part Dombrowski saying, you know, I can't. He's got to do a better job. And you can't let Topper go when you know you did a bad job.
I
Or
agree.
an average job. I mean, Luzardo was a great move. Duran's a great move. The Alvarado crushed them.
You got Duran, which is great, but because of Alvarado and because of who else? Because you went and you thought you had a closer, a late-inning guy.
With Romano?
Right.
Hey.
Right? Like,
I forgot about
don't
that
call
guy.
me Romano. I'm Romano.
Right.
Was a disaster.
Yeah.
Right? So there were a lot of mistakes that were made by Dombrowski.
Agree. So I think
Right? Like, you go into it with a lineup that's not out of whack. The other issue the Phillies have, and this is so frustrating to me, they don't develop players. Their farm system is stagnant. They never call guys up. All around baseball, I see kids coming up 19, 20, 21 years old.
Yeah.
Right? The kid from the Reds, Stewart, who's going to be a stud, getting playoff at bats. I never see that.
We don't see it. And Ruben's dropping a little nugget over the weekend saying he thinks one of these big contracts gets moved. And if you're looking at the big contracts, the only one that could be moved is Trey, maybe. Maybe you can unload him as he's the batting champ.
Nola.
Nola? Who wants Nola?
Dude, no one's taking
What
Nola.
are you nuts? He's not the big contract.
Trey? You can't trade Trey.
I don't think you can trade Trey.
There's no trade clause.
If Ruben's talking about it, but how else?
Yeah, Ruben's not.
He has a no trade clause. Both him and Bryce.
I don't know how I don't know, Yankees. I don't know.
Right.
Well, they got Volpe.
And if that's
And
even
Chisholm.
if
So
that's even in their mind, are they going to take a chance with Ada Miller and bring him up a short, free up some money to get something else? I don't know.
I don't know how you move
Kid's on
Turner.
the
I'll be
cusp.
honest with you. I still don't know how you move Turner.
I mean, he's the batting champ, dude.
Where's he going? Who can afford that deal?
It's not
There's
that
only
crazy these days. He's
What?
he's a $30 million a year.
Dude, he's signed for 10 years. Look at the
Yeah,
contract.
I know, but I'm saying right now
A
people
lot
are
of
signing for
money.
$40 million a year.
I don't know how. There's not a lot of teams that can afford that.
Well, I mean, he's not going to trade. Bryce is not going to get traded. So I don't know. What else would Ruben be talking about?
Casty?
Well,
Castellanos?
He's definitely gone. He's not a big.
I mean, but I don't think it's a big contract. Got 1 year left. He's definitely gone. I mean, Ruben could be talking about that.
Oh, yeah. Also, Fit Dad CEO, he chimed in moments after the announcement on Twitter, and he said, "Yep, I'm already out on the 2026 Phils."
Yeah. Well, and listen, depending on what they do, people are going to look at them like the Sixers, right?
Yeah.
Here you go, Fit Dad. That's our man. Yep.
He's got 86 likes with that. Hey.
Yep. Listen, I put Topper over here.
Yeah.
You guys are upset. I feel you, and so you have my empathy, but I don't think he's the issue. The issue is the lineup, and the issue is how they're built and developing players. So we'll see.
I guess there's update. I guess Steve in chat is saying Ruben was out there today saying it could be big arbitration guys too. I mean, that would be Bohmstad.
Well, we know that they're going to try to move that.
Yeah, Marsh.
I mean, daycare all has to go.
Yes.
Like, I closed daycare.
Oh,
all right.
Business.
Like,
yeah,
I don't want anything to do with Bohm, and I don't want anything to do with Marsh.
Yes.
Stott, I always thought had a chance. I liked Bohm. I always liked him, but he's not a power guy. Like, the power's not going to come, and at this point, it's just he may flourish if he leaves. Marsh was a bad trade.
Yeah.
Marsh was a really bad trade. Like, you lost O'Hoppe. You traded O'Hoppe for him. That was a bad move.
Yeah, not a great one.
So that's that.
Either Marsh or Stott's fine if they're your bottom of the lineup, and that's it. You can't have both of them.
No.
Those bats.
No. Now, Eagles.
Yeah.
Za'Darius. Yeah. So there's a lot of issues here, right? So you're looking at a defense that is really thin off the edge, and they got thinner.
Yeah.
Za'Darius Smith yesterday retires, took them by shock. I talked to them. They were like, huh? We didn't see this coming. Nobody saw it coming. He retires. So now.
What is that? Is that him just
looking
around the room and being like, I got to get out of here. This ain't what I signed up for.
He was telling people he lost the love of it. I don't know. Take it for what it is.
They expected too much. I think he was just thought he'd be like third down specialist, but they're so thin. He's playing more than he.
I don't know. Dude, I don't know what's in his mind. I can't speak to that. I just know. I just heard that he was telling people that he lost the love of it. So, but right away you go, if you think that team's got a chance to win it all, you got it out. No.
Yeah, you think if you're. Got a chance to parade at a ring?
I don't know. But maybe the dude's just not about, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows about the guy, right? Anyway.
He's looking around that edge room and be like, oof, there ain't nobody
well,
here.
Now you're thin as all can be, and you got issues at corner, right? Like Quinyon, I mean, has to play. Without Quinyon, the secondary's a mess.
Disaster. You move, does DeJean play the outside while Q's not here? I don't know.
I mean, it's scary. It's
the depth of this team is depressing. It's shockingly thin for a Howie team.
Well, then you got that's defense where that's the good side of the ball,
right?
The bad side of the ball is the offense, right? And yesterday, Nick was completely defensive. Yesterday,
we've seen this Nick before. Yes, it's not a.
Hey, do you think about making a change with play calling? No.
Yeah, it's not a great version of Nick. We've seen it.
Because he's defensive.
Of course.
And he knows there are real issues there. Does the quarterback want to run?
Quarterback's got to run. It's the only thing that makes him hard to defend.
I
said that right after the Super Bowl. He's so hard to defend once he's running.
Dude, how many conversations I've had with Spags
if he's not running, he's average.
If you're lucky. I don't think he's average if he can't run. Like, listen.
I mean, he can run, right? He's not physically injured. He's choosing not to.
Well, I don't know.
Or they're choosing not to have him run.
Whatever it is, he's got to be part of the RPO.
Yeah.
But there are issues there. There's issues with a lot of personalities down there. And it's not just AJ.
It's not a good room right now.
It's not just AJ. Like, they need to get this thing right and to figure it out. And the quarterback's a big piece of the puzzle. Like, it's a huge piece of the puzzle.
Dom seems like he's the guy, the glue. He makes all the Dom makes all the relationships.
Big Dom?
Yeah, doesn't he the guy who makes all the everybody in the room says shake your hand, shake hands.
You can't ask Big Dom to make these highly paid guys working consortium.
He's not the team therapist.
I mean,
he just bangs heads. He grabs two heads. He's like, boom.
Yeah, I mean, you're asking a lot for big. Like, I'm sure. I know he's trying to do his part, but look, they got to get it together. Oof. And there's some real issues coming up. EJ's going to talk about it, and I'm worried about Sunday. I mean, we're looking at a Minnesota team.
Can't think about this,
right? And defensively, they're really good. Like, they're a good team. Flores is a nasty OC, and if you're struggling offensively, they're going to be a problem. And I hate to say it because no one can stomach losing to Wentz.
No, that's not even possible. That's not even possible.
We're going to find out a lot about this team. They are battered, lost 2 in a row. So they're a little wobbly. Do they gut it out, get it together, win a tough game on the road? That will tell you whether or not this is 2023 or not. If they lose, it's 2023.
Just 2 losses?
It would be 3.
3 losses, 2023. That's 10 in a row.
They would have lost 3 in a row.
They have to buy, though, and then the Giants are back. They're not losing.
Isaiah Rodgers, here comes a pick.
Giants twice.
If they lose to Minnesota, I'm really worried about their future.
Isaiah Rodgers, big game.
Minnesota defense. They gave up 24 points to the Bears. They gave the Falcons 22 points. I mean, Pittsburgh put up 24 on them. I don't know. They're not the steel curtain.
They're not, but they have a good DC, is all I'm telling you. All right, let's take care of some business, and then we'll talk to EJ, see if EJ has some answers.
The line's at 2.5.
Yeah, I don't like it.
3.5 when we started this week.
I don't like it. Let's talk about some of our friends. Let's talk about, Righteous Felon Jerky, my favorite. You're talking the perfect snack that satisfies your hunger and provides the right amount of protein to fulfill your body's daily needs. My Anthony loves it. Like, Daddy, any jerky? And where's the jerky at, Daddy? And he just sits there chomping, right? We had a game yesterday. On the way to the game, I rush him. I give him, he was hungry. Well, good snack. Gave him some Righteous Felon.
Yeah, he hit a home run.
No, he made several tackles.
Oh, tackles. I can't keep track.
Home run.
I don't know. Fall ball. I don't know.
Hey, come on, bro. It's football season for Anthony. I love the Righteous Felon jerky. I know. I feel good, right? It's good stuff. The chat loves it. Chat may not love Topper, but the chat loves Righteous Felon, baby. The jerky and the sticks are sold in favorite retailers like Wawa, right? Where Wawa, right now, 2 bags, $10. The best value deal on jerky right now. Also, Giant, Costco, Royal Farms, thousands of independent stores. Righteous Felon helps fuel your favorite Philadelphia athletes by working with nutritionists of each local pro sports team to provide jerky and sticks for players to eat before and after workouts as a refueling snack during games. The Righteous Felon. All right? Good enough to keep Phillies pro athletes performing at the top of the game. It's good enough for you. All right? Now, if you're the kind of person who wants a deal and snacks delivered to your doorstep, you can order right now online, righteousfelon.com. Use the discount code PHLY20. PHLY20, 20% off. All kinds of cool variety packs, bundles on the site. All right? The perfect gift for the special meat snack lover in your life. I love it. All right? PHLY20 is the discount. You get 20% off your order on righteousfelon.com.
All right, sports fans, listen up. September's here. Football's back. School's in. It's a perfect time to get your finances back in shape, too. I've been checking it on my credit score lately, and let me tell you, if you're a member of TrueMark Financial Credit Union, you've already got a serious edge. They've got this free tool called Savvy Money right inside their online banking and mobile app. I use it myself seriously. It's like having your own financial coach in your pocket. You can check your credit score anytime without taking a hit on your score. You get tips on how to improve the score, and you even get alerts if anything changes on your credit. And that's what I call playing smart defense with your money. So if you're already on Team TrueMark, fire up that app. Check out the Savvy Money app today. And if you're not a member yet, like, seriously, what are you waiting for? Step up your financial game. Swing by one of their 24 branches or visit TrueMark.com/PHLY to open an account. And TrueMark Financial Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
All right. My man, TCK Dom, he was railing on Topper for not pinch running Castellanos. You can't pinch run. You had no one. The mistake wasn't on Thomson. It was on Dombrowski and Thomson, for that matter, for carrying all the pitchers.
Yeah.
You needed you had no one to play the outfield. You had to pinch. You had to leave him in the game. And by the way, the blame also lies on Castellanos for not getting a good enough jump and a lead. You're on that play. You're supposed to read the shortstop. You got to be even with the shortstop. He was well behind the shortstop. Shortstop is the only body that can pick you off. Like, you read the shortstop. Where is he at? You just got to look at him, and you got to be even with the shortstop so you can beat him back to the bag. That's what that is. The minute the play is going home, the minute the pitch goes home, you got to get the jump.
As soon as Beth starts break with him. I don't know what he's waiting for.
All right. Let's go to our man on the Xfinity guest line, E.J. Smith.
Give me that E, give me a J. Give me an E.J. Give me that E.J. Smith.
EJ.
What's going on, fellas?
I'm worried. Like, I'm very, very worried. So let's look at yesterday. We were hit with the news. Nice job on your emergency pod. We're hit with the news of Za'Darius calling it a career. What have you heard about that?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of the similar stuff that you had. He informed the Eagles yesterday morning. I think it surprised a lot of members of the organization that he had made the decision after a little over a month with the team to hang it up. I remember hearing him in the locker room after week 1 talking about how he had a lot of time left in the NFL, felt like he was young in the game, is how he put it to me. When I asked him if he had thought about what his post NFL life would look like, he said that he felt like because he only played 1 year of high school football, that he had a few years left. So definitely came out of left field. Fran made a good point about like the short week. You go through the offseason without a team. You don't go through training camp, and then all of a sudden you have the Sunday to Thursday grind followed by that weekend off. It wouldn't surprise me if it was a little bit of just like, it's a dreary Monday morning in Philadelphia. You got to go to the facility. The team isn't quite as good as maybe you anticipated. I do think if the Eagles were 6-0, he probably feels a little bit differently. I think that this was a ring-chasing season for him, and maybe the calculus changed ever so slightly for him over the last couple of weeks.
Well, that's the worry,
yeah.
Jay. Like, VG and I are talking about this. The worry is if he says, "Man, this team ain't winning," like that's a concern. Now, let's stay with the defense now. You're looking at the edge room, and it's just thin. Can you move Campbell to edge? I think that's kind of what you have to do. As much as I don't want to do it, you got Dean coming back, so you move Campbell to edge.
Yeah, I mean, if that's where they view him moving to eventually, I could see it. I think it's going to be really interesting to hear what Vic says about it this after or in a couple hours here, because Vic has really not been bullish on Campbell as an edge when he's asked about it this season. He's consistently said, like, he is an off-ball linebacker for us. He's in with the off-ball linebackers.
I agree with him.
He hasn't shown very much as an edge rusher yet. So I think in a pinch, you could be creative with some of the packages you use. You can try and get those 3 guys on the field. But honestly, I think the way that you primarily compensate for the fact that you don't like your edge rush production is you drop those guys in coverage and run a lot of sim pressures, because Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell, and even Nakobe Dean, like, let's not forget, all those guys are good blitzing from depth, blitzing from an off-ball linebacker position. So I think that's going to be, they can compensate for it to some degree with that. But yeah, I don't know if I'm really on board with moving Campbell to the edge. I mean, like, I watched his reps at Alabama. I watched him back recently, actually, and like, he looked solid doing it in college, but he hasn't shown it very much since he's gotten with the Eagles.
Well, I mean, he just started. I mean, just new in the league. I agree with you. I think he's an off-the-ball linebacker. My issue is I don't know where you go unless you go to our guy and say, dude, whatever you do, we need you. And now our guy says no, BG. But You like say, look, dude, we need you to get a few snaps because we're just in a pinch. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know where else you do. You're going to go try to make a trade. You're going to look around the street, see who's on the streets.
Yeah, but it feels like they're
thing.
2 guys short, right? It feels like they need a guy who can just take snaps. They need a rotation piece first and foremost. Like, that was what they signed Za'Darius Smith to be, is, the guy who kind of brings up the floor for the group. And obviously they've struggled so much that he played a lot. And then you still kind of could use it, that difference maker, that trade deadline acquisition. So honestly, I think that they've got a couple moves to make here. I mean, they've got Antoine Powell-Ryland on and off the practice squad over the last couple weeks. Like, maybe they see something in him to rotate him in a little bit more, but I don't know. They don't have good options. That's the nature of Za'Darius Smith retiring midway through the season, is you're not going to have a lot of options to replace him.
So, all right. Now you're also, what's the status of Quinyon and Jalen, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't heard much about them. The hamstring with Quinyon, they're always tricky. It's always one of those where you don't really know. It's probably going to be one that you have to monitor throughout the week in practice. And then, I mean, with Carter, I think you'd hope that the extended mini bye kind of gets him the rest he needs with the heel injury that popped up late in the week. So, but honestly, both major things to watch over the next couple of days. I mean, they're probably 2 of the 3 most important players on the Eagles defense, and we saw that against the Giants.
Yeah, man, no Q. I don't know what you do, man, because Ringo is an automatic pick on. And the Vikings have great receivers.
And they got a good coaching staff too. You know that they're going to have a plan.
KOC. What he's going to do against Ringo is not good. I'm very concerned. Now, the offense, dude. Yesterday, Nick was very defensive when Jeff McClain asked him about, hey, did you think about making a change to play calling? No. All right. Even though he had done it during a mini bye a few years back with himself, and he did it with a bye with Brian Johnson. So it's a pertinent question. He seemed pretty defensive about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's pretty long-winded on most things, and that one was a weird one to see in the transcript where it's just one word. No, I mean, it was a fair question given how the Eagles offense has struggled, given some of the scrutiny even from internally, at this point, like hearing Lane Johnson talk about, the predictability of the Eagles offense. I think it was a fair question, and the timing definitely made it even more of a fair question. Nick in general has been really defensive at times about some of these issues, and he talks a lot about like not wanting to assign blame, but instead find solutions. But the nature is like you have to assign blame to find solutions in a setting like they're in. I think with Nick, it's a matter of like his public comments don't really align with what he probably does behind the scenes. He's always been, I mean, famously like pointing to the like taking the blame for Jalen Hurts' interception during the 2023 season, not wanting to throw his players under the bus. So I think he can be that way to a fault at times. And again, I think that it's probably, and it shouldn't be aligned with how they've had to approach the last couple of days internally.
So the issue is what we know, right? Their O-line is banged up. So because your O-line's banged up, the run game's a problem. So you can't get the run game going, which means you have to rely on Jalen to make plays. Right. Now, you and I have talked about this numerous times on and off the air about who he is as a quarterback. He's not a volume thrower. I mean, I think it's obvious if you watch him that he's not a guy that you can lean in because he just doesn't like to let it go. And like, he's not going to throw to spots. He's not going to throw in tight windows. Guys got to be open to throw it. Like, it worked in 22 because of the RPO offense. Because guys were more open. They were worried about Jalen in the run game. Like, that's his superpower. His superpower is his legs and getting him involved in the run game. Where is that stand? Because there seems to be some resistance to going down that road.
Yeah, no, there definitely seems to be resistance going down that road for sure. And I think like we've seen this each of the last 2 seasons where like the Eagles come into the year hoping to integrate an expansive passing game where for lack of a better term, but honestly, maybe it's just the best way to phrase it, like kind of hoping that Jalen graduates into like a more, expansive offense. And like, at this point, 6 weeks into the season, last year they had the come to Jesus moment where it's like they have to be a run first team. You know, they have to run it through Saquon Barkley and let the run really open things up for the pass game. This year, it feels like the RPO game is screaming out as like the answer for, you know, a lot of what ails this Eagles passing game, because that really is like, you know, the way you can simplify it for a quarterback. And, you know, he has been elite. And I think like sometimes there is like a stigma around like, oh man, a quarterback friendly offense. And I understand, like, especially like with some of the flashes we saw from Jalen early in the season, like I understand like put the pushback on like, well, he clearly, you know, can make quick decisions in rhythm. But I think that like we've seen him do that in the RPO game specifically. We've seen him do that more consistently in those areas. I think that like there's nothing wrong with making it quarterback friendly if it's effective. You know, Jalen, again, he was an MVP candidate that 2022 season. So I think the RPO game has to be a bigger factor. I heard you guys talking about Jalen as a runner. I think that's a big thing that's missing with this offense right now is like, you know, the quarterback inclusive run game, you know, where he does keep guys honest. And you've heard for years now, each running back that's played on the Eagles, whether it's DeAndre Swift or Miles Sanders or Saquon Barkley, they've all talked about the fact that Jalen Hurts being inclusive in the run game opens things up for them. So these are things that we haven't seen enough of.
It just makes sense. But here's the issue, right? Now, is it Pachulo who doesn't see the obvious, or is it Jalen who doesn't want to run and say, "Well, I'm a thrower now. Like, you know, I did it. We won. Now it's on me to be," because there's an ego play here too. Like you're right about this. I want stats and throwing for yards, and you know, I want to be Jordan and I want to be the man. I don't know which one it is, but
yeah. I mean, it's a great question, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, like this fascination with like, you know, adding to it, making it something that it hasn't been before. Like, again, we saw them have to go away from it last year, and I think we're seeing they're going to have to go away from it again this year. Like you can't force that type of thing. And I think we may disagree on this, but like, I just don't think it's like, I guess it is inherently an indictment if you say like, okay, he's not going to run like the O'Connell offense or, you know, an offense where it's all timing and rhythm.
Yeah,
but
it's
Jalen,
not an indictment
again,
that he can't do that.
He's a talented player, and it's like there is an offensive system that you could. We've seen examples of the Eagles running offenses with him playing at an incredibly high level.
It's up to him to trust. Like I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's a negative that you can't run the O'Connell offense or that you have issues when they flood the zone. Listen, it's hard. Like all of a sudden, if you're not, they're dropping back, flooding a zone, right? And you got two guys out on a route. I mean, there's not a lot there, right?
Yeah,
and,
when this is like when you're, you know, an elite quarterback. I know that's like a radioactive term, but when you are a high level NFL quarterback, it gets hard. You know, and I think it's fair to just say like this stuff is complicated. You know, it's like the Eagles for the last couple of years have been facing really extreme defensive like schemes. Like they don't see like bland cover like the Jonathan Gannon defenses. Like you don't see that against the Eagles, and you know why? Because they have a lot of talent, and like that's like the level that Jalen's at now, where you're gonna see really exotic looks, and they're gonna try and throw you off, and that's where it's up to the coaching staff and Jalen, like because they are all in lockstep together to figure out the answers, and if that's to simplify it, if that's to, you know, to run 40 RPOs or something like that in a game, like we've seen them be successful with that before. So I think it is like it's such a nuanced conversation that you have to have, because it's not that we're sitting here saying like, oh, you know, the quarterback is terrible. It's like the quarterback.
I know there's weird because
tailored. That's all.
Jalen,
you know?
is the sacred cow in town, right? Like it's what he is. Like any sort of criticism levied his way, people get very defensive, which is great. Like they love him, and I think it's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And look, you know, this OC, I mean, I haven't seen anything that I go, wow, KP is the man, right? Like, so people go, wait a second, you want me to throw the quarterback who won a Super Bowl, been to two, right, under a bus for the OC? Like, come on. The only issue is you've had several offense coordinators, and like when you look at Kellen Moore, and you look at what Kellen Moore is doing in New Orleans,
yeah,
you know, and you kind of hear that Kellen Moore felt frustrated last year about what he can run, you got to look at the quarterback's shortcomings. Like, it's again goes back to do the things that you're good at. You may not be a guy that's going to throw it 40 times a game, 35 times a game. That's not who you are. Like, it's not. Like, and it's okay that you're not that guy. No one's saying you stink, right? You're a winner. You play point guard. Play the point guard quarterback spot and get back to what you do well.
Yeah. And like, I just keep going back to, I won't use the famous quote we always use now, but Jalen talks about ownership, of the Eagles system and the Eagles offense and how they run. He has talked a lot about that over the years. I think it's something that's grown over the last few seasons, his, the amount of input that he has. But I think that that's all stuff that needs to get figured out, and hopefully the mini bye starts that, and the bye week will be another opportunity. And that's why it's like so tough with this Eagles team, because like things aren't great right now. And it's like, if they figure some of this stuff out on offense, I don't see a team in the NFC that like is really like running away with this thing. I think that like, when you look at where the Eagles are at right now, they just lost to the Giants. So it's like, it's hard to sit there and go, oh man, like,
no, but listen, I agree.
But, yeah. Now, but the Vikings game will be interesting because like they kind of are, unlike the Giants, like the Vikings are in that tier where like you could lose to them on the road if you don't play your best game, and it's going to be an interesting test. Like, the Giants game, the thing that concerned me more about the Giants game than honestly a lot of the stuff on the field, because especially on defense, I think they'll figure a lot of that stuff out. Offensively, I've got some concerns, but the biggest thing to me is like, the thing about 2023 is like, how did the team respond to adversity? They obviously could not respond to it. They couldn't get themselves out of it. And that's to the Giants game and really this Vikings game. Those are going to be tests on how this team can respond to the fact that now they got punched in the mouth. They've fallen behind a little bit. Like how they dig themselves out of that hole, I think is going to be really, really instructive for the rest of the season.
I agree. And here's the issue. Here's the problem. And this is what worries me is that the defense, because of the injuries, can't bail them out, right?
Yeah.
Like all along, I thought that they were immune to 2023 because of Vic and the defense. I argue with Bo about that. But all of a sudden, if Quignon's out and against the Vikings who have all those receivers and Jalen Carter's not 100%, then all of a sudden your defense can't bail you out because I don't know what this offense is going to look like. I don't know that they're 4-2, but we haven't seen 4 quarters of good offense.
Right.
And then you start to look back and go, well, last year it was Barkley. And then but they had spells, even in that Packers game, there were spells where the offense went into doldrums and went into 3-and-out mode.
Yeah, and I mean the run game really papered over a lot of that, and it's not going to be the same factor this year. I mean, maybe they can figure out something, and maybe it's going to be more gap scheme runs, but they're not going to stay on schedule with the run game the way they did last year because teams are daring them to throw it. They're daring them to do something else, and obviously the offensive line is just not what it used to be. So yeah, I mean it's probably never as good as it feels, and it's never as bad as it feels with this team. Like when they were 4-0, like it really wasn't as good as it seemed. The most miserable 4-0 team in NFL history.
Oh man, that's what we heard about 10-1 2 years ago.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I think it was a lot of the same stuff this year, and now you're starting to see some of the ripple effects with these last 2 losses. So yeah, again, how they respond to that is going to be important. And the last thing I just wanted to say when you were talking about the offense, it's like this is like the most expensive offense in the NFL. You look across the board, like they could have 7, 8, 9 guys who make the Pro Bowl. And I know the Pro Bowl is whatever, but it kind of represents like that they've got a lot of guys who are at the top of their position, making top of the market money. The fact that they haven't been able to figure this out is just like, it shows how complicated it is. It's not just the OC. It's not just the quarterback. It's not just the head coach. It's not just the offensive line. It really just adds up. And it shouldn't be this hard, but they've made it look this hard so far.
Well, the other thing that worries me when it comes to the passing game in Jalen is you always can find an answer into what other teams want you to do. And truth of the matter is, I've talked to several defensive coordinators, like, how do you beat the Eagles? Just for your own edification about understanding it. And they all say the same thing. Make Hurts throw it. Yeah. Now, if they're all saying that, and they all play you that way, isn't there a degree of an answer there?
Yeah, I mean there has to be. And that is wrapped up with the quarterback play and also the coaching, where it's like there have to be solutions to that. We've seen Jalen play at a high level before. That Chiefs game is a perfect example, but that's like that's what I'm getting at. It's like it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be this hard when you have AJ Brown, Devontae
And this
Smith, Dallas
offense
Goedert's
is
having a great year.
yes, and this offense is so just rudimentary. Mirrored routes, right? Like it's taking off half the field. It's just such an elementary offense.
Yeah, and then there's like an element too where it's like, I'm reading a story about if JJ McCarthy's going to play today, and like, factors, it's not just going to be his health. It's like if his footwork hasn't degraded enough, because like in an O'Connell system, like your footwork has to be perfect. You have to have you have to be in phase to get the ball out of your hands. And like the Eagles just don't really have like those like quarterback whisperers on the staff necessarily, where it's like you get that element of it. Because again, it's like some of this stuff, that's the thing that is tough about a lot of these like traitsy quarterbacks is like, it's like, man, like they should be able to learn the easy stuff. Like the easy stuff is like, is your footwork right? Can you can you get the ball out on time and in rhythm? You feel like that would be the easier thing for some of these guys, but it so often isn't.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at comments in the chat, and they're just saying you can have all the best ingredients in the world. Randy says this, but if someone's first time on the stove, they can't cook a meal like a chef. And people are saying it's not the players, it's not Jalen, it's scheme, it's the routes. But aren't these Jalen's approved schemes, Jalen's approved routes that he's comfortable with, similar probably to the Kellen Moore? And maybe this was all just a product of the offensive line being healthy?
Yeah, I mean, Jalen and Nick Sirianni are the constants for this offense the last few years, and the offense has looked pretty similar each of the last few years. So I don't think it's as simple as saying it's just Kevin Patullo not really knowing how to pull the right levers. I think that the menu is not so much dictated by Kevin Patullo as it is that collective group. Now, I think there's fair criticism to be had about like the flow of the games, and some of like the stagnation we've seen from the Eagles offense does come down to play calling. But no, I don't think it's as simple as just saying, oh yeah, the OC, like he's not he's not scheming it up for Jalen. I think that the reason that the Eagles offense looks the way it looks, we've heard Jalen say a lot in the past, like now I will use the infamous Jalen Hurts quote, it's going to look the way Jalen Hurts wants it to look. He has a lot of input and a lot of ownership.
Randy, I would ask Randy in the chat, do you think Jalen could run a Shanahan offense? Like we all watch what Shanahan does, and the quick throws, the quick reads, the ball's out on time. Like, Can he run that? Like I'm asking the question because I don't see the ball out in time. Like I see him pat the ball, hold the ball, and that's always been a thing. Like certain guys have certain abilities to do certain things, and maybe that's just not who he is.
Yeah, and if that's not going to be him, then the scramble drill side of the game needs to be a lot better. If you're not going to be like a timing and rhythm thrower, like out of structure, and we've seen the Eagles be really good with this stuff before, but it's like that's where like the out of structure, extending plays, making plays downfield, because you have 4, 5, 6 seconds to find somebody. That's where that has to become a factor. And for whatever reason, we just have not seen the Eagles offense get that on. Like they've just been not on the same page too frequently to hit on some of those explosives that they could have.
And it felt like in the past they were seeing a lot of man, and Devontae and AJ were winning some man-to-man coverage, and they're not seeing man really. It's a lot of zone.
No, they're flooding the zone. That's the point. Show you blitz. It's what a zone blitz does, right? Zone blitz, you're not bringing an extra man. You're just dropping different guys in the coverage. So what you're doing is you're showing certain things and then flood the zone, and you're going, and Jalen's calling the protections. Kelsey, that changed when Kelsey retired. So he's calling the protections. And so you're seeing certain things and you're going, all right, but now they're dropping 6 and you're looking and you're going, oh no, where am I going to go? I got 2 guys on a route.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing too, because it's like they walk all those guys up to the line. So a lot of times, like, you're in a situation where it's like, man, you probably really like to run here, but they've got 8 guys in the box, and like that, so that dissuades you from running it. And like the way you gash a team like that is with quick decisions, and like not just like quick underneath, like quick down the field. Because the thing about that, I remember hearing from defensive coaches before, like
the
right,
seams are
yeah.
open.
Yeah, because you have that single high safety. So it's like, you hear from defensive coaches, like they always draw up these exotic sim pressures. You got guys that walked up to the line, and they say the reason that you don't call a lot of them usually is because you can't have a guy who's got a deep third on the field up at the line of scrimmage at the snap and expect him to run 40 yards downfield. But against the Seagulls offense right now, they're getting away with it. And that's where it, again, it's the quarterback, it's the scheme, it's a lot of different things that are causing them to not be able to take advantage of it. But again, it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be so complicated to be able to go that post safety. He's literally 3 yards off the ball at the snap. We should be able to throw it over his head.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm concerned about. That's why you do different things. Like your slot has to be a big player in his offense, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like I would do different things, man. I would move Devontae to the slot. I would look. There were times I have to do something down the seams, man. I mean, it's great that Goddard's get it, but he's really not that guy, right? Like I need explosive plays down the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I was like looking at Puka Nakua's heat map yesterday, just like wondering like why doesn't Devontae Smith's heat map look more like this? And you could say the same thing with AJ Brown and guys like Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. Like they don't feature their guys quite as much as you see in those other offenses. And yeah, if you're gonna run it through the passing game, like that has to be part of the equation. It has to be like just manufacturing touches for those two guys.
I have to. Now, my worry is he's never been comfortable throwing to the middle of the field. He's never been a seam guy. Like I always thought you need seam monsters. Like that's how you win in this league. And Jalen's never been a guy that throws the seam routes. Like he never doesn't do it.
Well, it's all wrapped up together, right? Because that's a timing and anticipation throw. That's usually a whole shot. So. I mean, and again, I want to be clear because I'm sure there are people in the chat who are furious about some of this. Like he's been an MVP candidate before. Like he's talented. It has to look a certain way. There's nothing wrong with that.
This is not an indictment, and this is what like people have to understand that you have certain skills as a quarterback. His skill is running an RPO offense where you then throw off of it. He's great at throwing off of that. I'm not saying he's got to be not a not thrower, but you gotta run an RPO based offense because then the throws are there for him and he can make those throws. He's a terrific deep ball thrower, right? Like all that stuff we've said over and over again. But the way they're playing you now, you gotta lean into the RPO style.
Right. Let me put it this way. Like, if you flip the quarterbacks on that Thursday night game, like if Jalen's in that Giants offense and Jackson Dart's on the Eagles offense, like the result is probably even more ridiculous in favor of the Giants because like they run an offense that is suited for their quarterback, and like the Eagles are, again, I understand
suited
like,
for a quarterback with no receivers.
To grow from there. Right. Yeah. It's just, to me, it's like, it doesn't have to be a negative. I know that there's a stigma around all these things, but to me, it's really just more of a black and white thing than that. It's just more simple than like you have to have a scheme. Every quarterback needs a system that works for them, and like I think that they need to really drill down on what that is, because again, we've seen versions of it in the past and they've gotten away from it.
All right, great stuff, EJ. Great, really interesting, insightful as always. People need to follow you. They need to read your work, become a diehard. It's amazing football coverage between you and Franny. It's just great. What's your schedule today?
Coordinators at 11:30. We'll hear from Patullo, Vic Fangio, Michael Clay. Really curious to hear what Vic Fangio has to say about some of this edge rusher stuff because he's not like as edge rusher reliant as coordinators have been in the past here. But still, I mean, at this point, like it's getting to, be pretty significant. So I'll be curious to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, everything was based off of Jim's scheme in the past. And Jim was always edge. He needed his ends.
Yeah, and wanted that rotation too. Vic is Vic is like the type of guy, he's like the opposite. He'll go into a game with 3 edge rushers, feel fine about it. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. Thanks, brother. Great stuff, buddy.
Yep. Thanks for having me, guys. Talk to you soon.
E.J. Smith.
By the way, Randy said no, he does not think he's that quarterback.
To run that up. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I think that's what we're saying. Like, it's not like you're like laying all the blame on Hurts and none on Patullo. I think it's obvious that the offense lacks imagination. We've pointed that out numerous times. You know, the issue is that there's been numerous OCs, and I put a lot of stock into Kellen Moore because Kellen Moore knows offense. And when you're some of the stuff that he was frustrated with last year and some of the stuff that he's running with a bad Saints team is different. Now, and maybe it's just because that Jalen's comfort level resides in an RPO style. And they need to go, that's where, that to me, that's the answer. Right. Because you're not going to be able to go to a run game and save you.
Just let me clarify. Randy says he does not think he can run a Shanahan offense. I do not think he needs to, though. I think an offense not schemed by Nick and a rookie OC isn't too much to ask.
But what was the issue? Like last year, they tried to do the same thing before they leaned in the run game. What was the issue then?
Right.
So that's where the chicken and the egg come in. Like, I agree. Like, I was on Sirianni yesterday because you can't be a CEO coach from the offensive side of the ball and not be able to fix the offense. Like, ultimately, it falls on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like, that has to be. All right, let's take care of some business. And then we got a man nobody knows more than Baldy. All right. Let's talk about Xfinity Sports. Wow, man. I love the setup. There's nothing better. Now, listen, I love the fact that VG goes out every night. He's glamorous, right? He's out at the bar every night.
Glamorous.
Right? Hanging out the Winnipeg Jets last night because Winnipeg was in town. They were playing Thursday night, and they were already here. And they were hanging with VG last night. Him and Iafallo and Pionk and all those dudes.
It's true.
Right? Like, you were hanging with those guys.
Yeah.
But he has to be out every night because he's set up blows at home to watch games. Right? Sorry, it's not good.
That's the truth.
But
I don't like hearing it.
All right, it's all right. Like, you live that life. It's a beautiful life. I wish I could be out hanging with the Winnipeg Jets, but I'm home. And if I'm going to be home last night watching 2 Monday Night Football games, then I want to do it in style with Xfinity Sports, man. It's the best game, the best way to watch all your favorite teams all in one place. And the way I watch is next level. It's the perfect fan flex. You got the action right there in my living room. Xfinity's best picture and sound within the hands, 4K. So clear, feels like you're at the stadium. It really does. It's amazing. The college games, I got 4 games going on at once because why not? All right, taking notes because I'm a loser. On top of that, real-time notifications, live stats right on your television. The best seat in the house every time next game day. Make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. All right, talk about the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. All right, VG, what are we looking at, my brother?
I'm pulling up the Eagles game. When we started this week, it was 3.5. This morning, it's 2.5. Let's see what it's at right now. 2.5. Over-under's 43.
Pretty low.
Yeah, it is.
43.
Oof.
Yeah, that's pretty low. That's a low number. Last night was bizarre, right? The Bears win in Washington.
Yeah.
And the Falcons all over
the
the Bills. I told that was a reverse.
Yes. We had
yes. Everybody was on the Bills, and the Falcons were the line went down.
Yes, and we had a reverse with the total. So we told you tease Bills and the over in the second game. That would have hit.
Yeah.
It did hit.
Yeah. There you go.
Dodgers minus 124 today. Is Ohtani on today? Who's pitching today?
Yeah, it should be Ohtani because Snell pitched last night.
Oh, it's Peralta and Yamamoto.
Oh, really?
That's a good matchup.
They skipped Ohtani.
He needs extra days off.
I know. I like the Brewers tonight.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the Brewers.
I'm rooting Brewers. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm rooting Brewers.
Yeah. Seattle's minus 139.
Seattle's nasty, dude.
They're rolling.
They're nasty, Seattle.
Yep.
Mariners are good. See, they jumped off they just hit. That lineup's a great line. I told you I like Seattle to win it. I still think they can win this thing.
We got some soccer today, Andrew. Tuesday.
I don't think so. There might be World Cup
World
stuff.
Cup
Qualifiers.
World Cup qualifiers.
What do we got?
Estonia, Moldova today, and Italy and Israel. That's 2:45. Latvia, England.
What's the line?
Which one?
Italy.
Let's see. To win in regular time, Italy is -590.
Portugal, Hungary,
Wow,
Spain, Bulgaria.
Oh, Spain's gonna roll over the Bulgarians.
Oh yeah.
Lay it with Spain. Spain.
Yeah,
can
give
put
me
up-
Italy, give me Portugal, give me
I'm
Spain.
gonna go Estonia +112.
There you go, Estonia. All right, check it out. BetParks app has something for everybody, as we just found out, including all the table games, live dealer blackjack, roulette, craps, the unlimited slot. Like, you got slots everywhere. Fun games, jackpots going, the whole thing. What are you playing?
Zen wins. A little.
Yeah, there you go. I can see you doing that. So check out the BetParks Sportsbook online casino app. You get up to $1,000 casino bonus back for new customers if you're down the first 24 hours. BetParks.com has all the details. Going to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. You have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. There he is, the legend. He was,
man.
you know what was the greatest thing in the world? Is that we had a football game on Sunday, right, afternoon, and I knew Baldy was doing the Raiders game, and it was awesome that I had Baldy. I was listening to Baldy calling the Raiders game. Yeah, he's the best.
Nice.
Hey, all right, let's dissect this right now. 2 minutes ago, this is what he's going to do, right? Like, Baldy's the greatest, man. He is truly fantastic. Here he is, the one, the only, on the Xfinity guest line, Baldy.
Baldy, Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Baldy, Baldy. Oh, he likes pizza and football. Oh, Baldy.
I got to tell you, you are a great game day analyst.
Is that right? You were listening?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I mean, it wasn't the best game, cuz. I mean.
No, but it was a bad game. But the point is that you're great at it. Like, you're just great. Like, you provide, like, knowledge and entertainment with it.
Well, I got to say this, cuz. Sunday, first of all, I was doing Texas OU on Saturday. So you talk to Sark, you talk to Archie. I mean, it's like you're in that atmosphere.
I was glad for the kid.
You're in football heaven at the You're in football heaven at the Cotton Bowl. So you get to Vegas. I get down there. First person I see when I get up to the booth or upstairs is Eric Allen. Now, Eric Allen went in the Hall of Fame this year, and had to give him his flowers, obviously. But they were honoring Eric at halftime of the game as one of the Raiders. So all the living Raiders in the Hall of Fame were there. All right. So Eric Dickerson was there. James Lofton was there. Tim Brown was there. Right. Mark Davis is down there. Like, I'm down there talking. I'm talking to Eric Dickerson. We're telling stories about our days in Indianapolis, man. Like, it was such a, and then the players, Ashton Genty, Max Crosby, they all want to come and see the guys in the gold jackets, like the respect. And I'll say this, the Raiders are, I don't know where they're at in the organization right now, but one thing that they do, they treat their Hall of Fame players like they were there for 20 years. Like, they treat them like gold, like they should be treated. And so they were all, it was a nice half hour down there in the field talking to the guys.
That's awesome. I was glad for Arch. Like, they gutted it out, man. The kid, that's a tough game against a good front with a
good front
with an offensive line that's not yet ready to go.
He's just so solid. He's so fundamentally sound. He played great, but his elusiveness. I mean, he's going to be a good NFL player. I don't care what anybody says. These kids have to play.
Yes.
You just can't have Manning on the back of your jersey and we're going to win the Heisman. The kids, everybody's got to play. I don't care what sport you do. Like, the only way you get better is by playing. He got better against the number one ranked defense in football. At least, in the college ranks, Oklahoma was number one. And they had some good games, and they're talented, really talented. But he played great. And I was happy for the guy.
All right, let's dive into it because we're still picking up the pieces off of Thursday night, and there's a lot of issues going on right now with the Eagles offense. Where you come after looking at it all, dissecting it 7 ways from Sunday? I think the answer lies going back into the RPO, lean back into Jalen and a big part of the run game. And I think that's the way you got to do it. But
well, honestly, because the RPO, that's a changeup. Teams know how to defend that. If you get the RPO becomes a lot more effective if you're running the ball. It's a run pass option for a reason. If you're moving the line of scrimmage and they're honoring that, if you're, I don't know, if you're, let's just say Blake Cashman this weekend for the Minnesota Vikings, number 51. Like if you're Blake Cashman and you're pounding it up the middle on him, like Blake Cashman is going to put his bucket like on Saquon. But if you're going for 1 yard, you're going for 2 yards, and you can kind of just sit back and the safeties can play deep, and you want to give it or throw it. Those guys are sitting those passing lanes now, and those slants and some of the things you can do. Now, there are ways to be more creative in the RPO game than what I've watched this year. There's a lot of things you can do.
I don't know how you establish a run game when the interior part of your line is that banged up.
Well, so what? You're there. You're an NFL player. I don't care if you're Matt Campbell, right, or Matt Pryor, or if you're Tyler Steen or you're Landon Dickerson. So what? Your job is to go move people. All right. They won a Super Bowl last year, and the guy needed back surgery, the whole time, and in Cam Jurgens. So, nobody gives a crap about if you're banged up. So what? You got to still move the football. There's things you could do, taking guys off the line of scrimmage. You're going to see Javon Hargrave. They played with him for 2 years here. All right, go move Javon Hargrave.
I don't know, dude. I think that's easier said than done because I think this O-line is what
well, Lane Johnson's playing
as
good as he's ever played. He's playing as well as he's ever played his whole life right now. Nobody's beating that guy. Jordan Mailata is as good as anybody. Is the interior, is it a strength right now like it was a year ago? It isn't. Well, you got to find runs that can work.
Yeah, well, I don't know why you don't go outside. You got to.
All right, there we go. You can still get to the perimeter. You can still get.
Well, that's why Jalen's a part of the run game. Then
look, when they say there's
more options to do that. Yeah,
well,
it just helps you.
I don't disagree with you, Cuz. I don't disagree. When I say you go find more runs, all right. There's all kinds of ways to run a sweep, to run a toss. You can run out of 2 backs. There's all kinds of things you could do to adjust here right now.
Yeah, that's where. So, where do you think the issues lie in this offense with Petullo as the architect?
Well, the run game stinks, and so you're not going to get any kind of a good passing game. They're not a big play action team, as we know. That's what a lot of teams are doing and getting big explosive plays out of it. That's not their thing, but I don't know why they wouldn't go to it. It's not like the quarterback can't turn his back to the defense and take a 7-step drop and fake to Saquon under center. That's what the good offenses are all doing right now. They're all going under center. But I think it's got to start with the run game. Saquon is a special talent. He's had a couple of, he's had 10 runs of 10 yards or more, but he's had 5 of them in the last 2 games. He might be getting close, but if you only run it 6 times like did against Denver, you're not going to get that opportunity. So, first down runs is really the most important down for this team right now. If I had to fix one thing, I'd get back to getting 5 yards on first down, where you have options on second and third down.
Well, the thing that was surprising is the first drive of the game, it's Saquon, and it looked like, they look good. Looked like it was that's how it's supposed to look.
And that's a bad run defense that the Giants have.
Well, what happened? It devolved into they couldn't do anything after that.
Nothing. So there's look, this reminds me, I said this on Friday, this reminds me of the collapse from 2023. And the only people who are going to change it are, obviously they changed the coordinator, right after the season, and that seemed to make a difference. Bringing in Kellen and Doug Newsmeyer. I mean, that made a big difference because it was, and adding Mackay made a difference. But they're not going to.
And adding Saquon Barkley.
And added Saquon. Yeah, but just the funk that they're in right now is deep, and it has them questioning whether they're even having a team meeting or not having a team meeting. Like it sounds stupid over there, But and meetings never get anything really solved. Like you got to go to work. They had a chance to get rested. They had a mini bye week right here. They should be out there on the field, today, getting after it here today, putting the pads on and, going back to training camp and working on some of the fundamentals.
Yeah, I think today's an off day for them. They were there yesterday, and I think today's the off day. Yeah. Kellen, it was interesting because the stuff that Kellen ran early didn't work last year. It wasn't a fit, and Kellen changed the offense. Like we remember what it was like post-bye week. Mm-hmm. And I could tell you that Kellen probably sometimes is frustrated some of the stuff that he wanted to run, that he couldn't run, that he's even trying to run with a bad team in New Orleans. Is there a certain style that the Eagles need to run? Because they've never been a team that attacks the seams, and now teams are playing them differently where, they're flooding the zone. They're dropping back. They're showing blitz and dropping back and flooding the zone.
Well, I mean, everybody does that right now. I mean, you're going to see it. The architect of this whole thing is you're going to see him in Minnesota this week with Brian Flores. He really started this blitz zero look, putting 6, 7 up at the line of scrimmage, and you're trying to figure out, are they coming, not coming, and what's our protection so that we don't get somebody right up the middle, blowing up our play. And so, I mean, it's not just a third down look. They'll do it. They'll do it on first down. They'll challenge you all game long. Now, you can get them out of it by splitting them, and making them pay for it, giving up and making them give up big plays, which last year they were really good against the run. They're not as good this year. And it's funny, that's what they really tried to improve this year by bringing in Jonathan Allen and Hargrave. They really tried to upgrade the run defense and hadn't really showed yet. But I could pull out 10 plays right now where they're just getting gashed up front. And what was really good last year doesn't look that great this year.
And it's, this whole league is wide open. I mean, the league's wild, right? Like, you look
I mean, you've seen two teams that were undefeated, 2 weeks ago, Buffalo and Philadelphia, both have lost 2 in a row and look bad doing it. I mean, Buffalo was the third best offense in football as far as points. They couldn't score more than 14 points last night.
They couldn't protect. I mean, their O-line's banged up, and they had a lot.
I mean, they got everybody in there. They got the same 5 guys. They're not banged.
They were banged up.
Yeah, they got the same 5 starters they had last year and the year before.
I mean, you watch
Connor McGovern's at center, Edmonds at left guard, Sideboard's at right guard, Spencer Brown, Deion Dawkins, the same guys.
But 2 guys went out last night. That's all.
And they came back in too. Connor McGovern went out for 1 play. All right, they gave up a sack. He was in there the next play, finished the game.
They had trouble protecting last night. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you watched it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Atlanta's, they've improved their pass rush. Jeff Ulbrich is a good coordinator. Jeff Ulbrich is the guy that was coordinating the Jets when the Philadelphia went up there 2 years ago, and they turned the ball over 4 times against Ulbrich. Like, he's a good, he knows how to dial up some pressures. That's what got there. Their front 4 as a rush group didn't do anything special to Josh Allen.
No, they blitzed. They blitzed.
Yeah, the blitzes were good. They got home.
I look at it and I go, Washington, Chicago, like it's just it's a week-to-week league.
Well, it is week-to-week, cuz. But, and there's a lot of teams that are floating at 3-2, Washington, Atlanta, Philly at 4-2. Like, nobody's really jumped up and taken charge here. But that's what this time of the year is all about. Like, this run between now and Thanksgiving, we're gonna see a lot of teams separate. There's some bad teams, and you can go pad your stats against bad teams. You got to play some of these guys. But look at Carolina's 3-2. And they've won 3 of the last 4.
Yeah,
they run the ball as well as anybody in this league right now.
Now Dowd'll look great.
But he's run like that 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're playing a backup center and a backup right guard.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're not happy. down there. There's a lot of money invested in this Eagles offense. And, you know, you look at like the issue you talked about 2023, they cannot, the defense is so banged without Quinyon and Jalen, and they just lost Za'Darius. The defense can't bail you out.
No, but if you're an offense with as much talent as they have, you shouldn't be relying on your defense to bail you out. Like you should be playing with the lead. Like you should be dominating. Like, you know, I mean, they've got some of the highest paid receivers, quarterback, running back, right tackle, left tackle. I mean, you got some of the highest paid players in the league. You win with your stars. Now the quarterback's got to play better. He's got to see the field better. Like you can't dismiss this. Like he's got to play better. He's got to be more accurate when he gets a chance. He's got to make better decisions. And you can't drop back and hold the ball and wait for something to happen. Like he's not a good offense. You know, the
ball needs to be out. I mean, that's a big problem.
All right, but like, okay, I also think on 3rd and 3, like, you know, where's your man beater against man? Where's your answer to extend the drive rather than just holding it and then punting it? Like,
well, the other issue with them is, you know, two things. One, they don't have like drive starters that they can count on, and their scramble drill is woeful. Like
horrible.
I mean, like everywhere else, you see it in that moment. Guys come back and you make plays, and with with Jalen's ability to extend plays, your scramble drill should be one of the best in the league.
Well, here's the scramble drill in a nutshell. If Jalen is going to his right and he's escaping to his right, somebody comes short, somebody goes deep. You have options. You come short, you know, you're probably on the sideline right there, know where your feet are, know where the sticks are. Somebody goes deep, you take your shot if it's there. I mean, or you run. But that's a scramble drill in a nutshell. Everybody works on it. The Eagles aren't good at it. All right. Do the guys really want the ball or not? Because like when Terrell Owens was here, nobody wanted the ball more. And we're going way back, but when T.O. was here and Donovan was like quarterback and he was doing some of the stuff that Jalen's doing, nobody wanted the ball more than T.O. One of the reasons why he's in the Hall of Fame. Like that was his time. Antonio Brown, Stephon Diggs. These guys are hungry for the ball. Like they're like, oh, this is a freebie right here. All right. I didn't win the route. Quarterback didn't see it. He's looking the other way, whatever. Like I'm coming to get it. It's mine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, is it up to Sirianni? Like Sirianni's a CEO coach from the offensive side of the ball. I mean, can't Nick come in and help fix this thing?
Well, yeah. I mean, but you know, you're putting you're putting your chart together. You know, I mean, you know, probably starting over the weekend, and you're scouting the Minnesota Vikings, and you're like, okay, what? And you're talking to Jalen on his day off, and all right, what are we going to put in? What's our third down package? What's our goal line? You're putting it all together. Nick's involved with all that. You know, now Kevin's calling the plays, but Nick still has overriding. He can still override a call, a play, a protection, whatever. You know, and then Jalen has the ultimate control at the line of scrimmage. So yeah, I mean they and Kevin's been here as long as Nick's been here. He knows the offense, but it's not just sometimes they say because it's the old cliche. It's players, not plays, and I do agree with that to some extent. Until you see really good design of offense and really good execution, and then you go, oh, that's why that guy is a good player, is a fundamental part of the design.
I'm sitting there watching Mac Jones, and what Shanahan does with Mac Jones. Mm-hmm. I mean, the offense looks great with it. Like, listen, that was a great game. Like, it was just a great game.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at the other side of that game. Look at Baker. I feel like I know this league as well as anybody that does this business. I didn't know who Cameron Johnson was. Number 9, he catches the touchdown pass. San Francisco doesn't cover him. And I'm like, he's a Division II kid. Like, he's never really played, never caught a pass before Sunday. But, Ibuka's down. I mean, Godwin's down. Evans is down. He's throwing to Tez Johnson and Cameron Johnson. And they're beating the 49ers.
You know what the greatest was? Tez, they were chanting MVP for Baker. and Tez thought it was for him. And he's like, man, I haven't done anything right now. They're like, no, dude. for Baker, man. I give you credit. You were always on Baker. You loved Baker. Even when he was languishing in Cleveland, you're like, dude, the kid's a baller because you watched him in college. You called those games. You knew the kid had a lot of heart.
I'll tell you a quick story. I'll tell you a quick story about Baker. So the Maxwell Awards are in Atlantic City, and he's the college player of the year. All right. And he's coming from Texas. And there's an ice storm in Texas, and he can't get out. Right. And so, it's a question mark whether he's going to be able to get there or not. Right. They've got a driver picking him up at Philadelphia Airport, whatever. The guy drives to Houston, buys his own ticket to get to flies into Atlantic City, takes a cab to the Maxwell Awards, and shows up in a tuxedo.
God bless him.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that just said, hell with it, call Jaws up. Hey, apologize, man, weather. That guy, it was important to him. Like, that guy just does every little thing right. You want him in the building. He energizes everybody. Like, he loves. I mean, he's a walk-on at Texas Tech. He's a walk-on at Oklahoma. Like, him and his dad used to drive from Austin, Texas to Norman on Saturdays to go watch Oklahoma play when he was a kid. That's all he ever wanted to do was play at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So some of these guys, it's in their blood, cuz. Like, they just want to, he's Iverson in a football uniform. They just want to play,
It's a great analogy. That's just a great analogy. Iverson in a football uniform. And it's funny, like, you watch the Chiefs Sunday night and they're back. Like, they just,
because I'm telling you, as soon as Xavier Worthy came back in the lineup, like, Mahomes is never going to change. Never. He wants to rip your jugular out every week. Doesn't matter who the opponent is, what their record is. Like, that guy's ability to see the field, to extend plays, nobody has. I remember talking to Brady about this last year, about pocket awareness. And he said, one time, Baldy, we were playing the Chargers, and Sean Merriman beat my left tackle, and he's coming right for my head. And I don't know why I did this, because I never do this, but I ducked, and Merriman went right over the back of me, and I made the play. You like, what Mahomes does is he's just in a whole different category. But, Spags is, they didn't even really have to blitz that much the other day, man. Like, they just played great defense, and then, and Mahomes is like, he's going to get the ball to the open guy, whatever their name is.
It was so interesting watching the two defenses go at it.
Real quick, because it ties into Patullo and the Eagles. Like, honest to God, I watch plays from Andy. Like, that guy's mind is, there is no playbook for Andy. The guy comes up with new plays every week.
Yeah.
New designs, new plays with the anticipation of what they're going to see on defense. It's absolutely remarkable. The amount and the volume of offense and how they work on it to execute it game day. Like, they get more done than any other team in this league.
Well, it's funny because he was always like that. And watching him and watching the Detroit and the Chiefs, like, just watch the league on Sunday, right? Those good teams, Tampa and San Francisco, and you see a level of offense that is unlike anything in creativity. It's unlike anything in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you can't compare Philadelphia to any of that. No, I mean, it's this game just continues to evolve. When Chip came, okay, we're gonna brought up tempo in. Chip looks like he's like what I'm watching with the rate. If I was Pete Carroll, I'm like, what in the world are we doing here? Like, I don't understand it, but it's too simple.
Yeah,
and it's not effective enough. Like, these motions and shifts and these matchups and like these rub routes and how they get guys open. Like, it's just, what Andy's doing right now and with some of these other guys, like, it's just it's getting harder and harder to defend these teams right now.
Yeah. It's awesome. All right, brother. Great stuff as always. Yep. We'll talk to you on Friday.
All right, buddy. Have a good week, man. Talk to you.
There he is. Baldy checking in.
Every week he checks in. I get another. It's like the run game stinks. It's like
the run game stinks.
The run game stinks. How does that happen? How does it happen in like 6 months?
So the one thing that
stinks. It was the most epic run game of all time.
But here's the thing. I do believe in guys being banged up. Like, I don't know how you. Like I brought up running outside. Like I think you got to run more outside zone.
Lane's preaching it.
Right? The interior is banged up. I mean, I didn't make that up. Like, it's hard to go, like, all right, push. You got to get pushed. Okay, well.
Yeah.
Can you do it?
No. And they don't have a plan B that's effective right now.
I mean, yesterday when we talked, like, when you watch the game, you see an offense that is foreign compared to these other offenses that are, it's almost like watching grainy, like the Eagles should play in grainy black and white.
Yeah, it's like Australian rules football is like the Eagles are trying to play.
Like, there is no movement.
No.
Right? There's no deception.
We've been complaining.
I saw a play last night where Jaden Daniels did like a 360. Did you see it?
No.
He did like a 360. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I missed that. Can I say it's too much going on? These double games out at the same time.
I don't like the double game.
Trying to watch a baseball game and 2 football games at the same time.
I'm watching impossible. A hockey game
and the hockey game. Yeah.
I couldn't watch the baseball game. I didn't have enough bandwidth. Like, it was just too much. Like, I was watching a couple screens and then I'm just going back and forth. Yeah. And so it was between Flyers and the football games.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah. The double game, I like early and late.
Staggered, yeah. Give me a West Coast 10:30
start. Can't have 2 games going on one time. I don't like it. All right, let's take care of some business. All right, what are we doing? You talking about...
Hey, man, fall's here, dude. Crisp air, football, maybe a bonfire or 2. But if you're like most guys, you're still putting in hard work. And yeah, that means sweat. Don't let body odor sideline you, cuz you know that feeling. It's game day. You've been working hard all week. Your lucky jersey, well, maybe it's smelling a little too lucky. So let's be honest. Regular deodorant just doesn't cut it after a long day. But there's a real game changer. Mando deodorant plus sweat control. We like to control that sweat. This isn't just another cover-up. Mando is 1 stick, 2 jobs, powerful odor and sweat control. It actually stops odor before it even starts. No more masking, just freshness. Clinical strength sweat control. 1 swipe, you're good to go. Control sweat and odor for 72 hours. It's deodorant, re-engineered to stop odor before it starts. And Mendo Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like a mini body wash, deodorant wipes. Deodorant wipes are solid. Get free shipping. There's a special offer for listeners. New customers get 20% off site-wide with the exclusive code PHLY. So use the code PHLY at shopmando.com for 20% off.
You know what, dude? You can't have the funk.
Free shipping.
No funk in the undercarriage.
Yeah. So shopmando.com. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. And Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness.
It is a genius idea, the Mando.
I'm all about sweat control and freshness. I like my
I agree.
Sticks, deodorant sticks and body sprays.
Yeah. I'm down with that. All right, let's go to talk about Parks Casino, Street Road, Ben Salem. Parks Casino, all right, they have it all. Action, excitement, headline entertainment. Plus, if you live in Central or you live anywhere in the area, from Jersey to PA, you name it, you're right there. Street Road, Ben Salem, exit 6 off the Turnpike. It's perfect. Parks Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino. You got thousands of hot slots, state-of-the-art sports book, beautiful poker room, Liberty Bell Beer Garden, collection of award-winning restaurants, Chickies and Pete's. Parks Casino, this is how you win. Tickets on sale now for these headliners. December 5th, the a cappella band, Straight No Chaser.
It's holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
They do how many people? Is like you said, like 9 people?
Yeah, I think so. Something big like that, yeah.
December 6th, comedian Ken Jeong.
Funny. Very funny.
Guy.
December 12th, get the Let Out of the Led Zeppelin tribute.
Baby, I'm going to leave you. Oh, man, it's too early for that high note.
Wow.
Baby.
November 26th, comedian Joey Diaz. October 25th, Almost Queen.
Is this the real life?
Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide.
November 21st, Air Supply.
I'm all out of love.
I'm so lost without you.
November 22nd, comedian Brian Regan. ParksCasino.com to buy tickets for all shows. Parks Casino, this is how you win. You got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, now let's turn our attention back to baseball. The news of Topper coming back and kind of what to do with this team.
Oh, the city's alive. They're electric with this news, Anthony. I went to the pub. Everyone's happy. High five. And Topper's back. Topper's back.
So I had to go to our guy to put a bow on this season. That's right, the big deal. Brought to us by Kia of Cherry Hill, a folk auto dealership. Our man, Jimmy Steaks.
Give me a steak. Give me a steak. Oh, let's talk some baseball with Jimmy Steaks.
There he is on the Xfinity guest line. Good morning, Steaks.
Good morning, lads. How are you?
All right. I mean,
Great.
Friday, it was like a whirlwind. It was the ugly night. The evil hat trick happened Friday night or Thursday night. So when we spoke to you Friday morning, it was like kind of come to grips with the whole thing. As you thought about it over the weekend, how do you feel about this ball club?
Good team. Expected more in October, the month that really defines good teams. To me, the era of having good regular seasons is over. Being satisfied with just a good regular season, you want more. I mean, a good regular season is expected when you have this level of talent, this payroll, and they just haven't got it to the finish line where they need to go. It really stings a little bit the last two nights, Anthony, watching those Seattle Mariners get off to a 2-0 lead in the ALCS, and the Phillies kicked the you-know-what out of them a couple months ago in Philadelphia. They just didn't perform well in the postseason, top to bottom. I mean, I will exclude the starting pitching. They did get good starting pitching, but they didn't hit enough. And fundamentally, they were poor as well. There were 3 or 4 fundamental breakdowns that really cost them in a close series because the Dodgers didn't do a lot of hitting either. So, but my reflection is disappointment and, feeling that it's slipping away here. The nucleus of this team, another year older. You get some guys about to move on, possibly back, but nobody's getting any younger here, and they haven't delivered a championship. And I think it's completely reasonable to wonder if they will. They need to, but it's really confounding that they haven't made better showings here the last couple postseasons.
So the news yesterday is that Rob Thomson will be back. How do you feel about it?
I'm okay with it. I thought that's the way it would go. A Major League Baseball team evaluates everybody, and I'm sure he was evaluated. And when you evaluate him, you can't just say, okay, this team didn't get to where it wanted to go in October. You have to say it did get to October. I mean, I remember leading up to the 2007 division championship, they had gone 14 years without a postseason berth.
Yeah.
And then after 2011, when, they had that 5-year run of 5 division titles, 2 pennants, and a World Series title, they went a decade, 10 years without getting to the postseason. So he's helped them get to 4 straight postseasons with ascending win totals each year. To me, that means something. He does a good job in the clubhouse. He keeps that team together. I think some of the buttons he has pushed in the postseason, last few postseasons have backfired on him. But I can see logic in every move. Sometimes the player just doesn't make it work. I still, I wonder who you would replace him with. So with a year to go on his contract, and I expect, not all of this team back, but a good chunk of the nucleus back, and they need to do a little tweaking. I think you give him another ride and see what happens. And with him back on a 1-year deal, I'd be, he's only on a 1-year deal. I don't know if they're going to extend him because, give him that second year. Sometimes it gives you a little more oomph in the clubhouse. And the last time they had a lame duck manager, Joe Girardi, it did not go well. But if I had to guess, I would think they might not extend him. And I don't even know if he really wants to be extended deep down inside, make one more run, see what happens. If it's not going well in June, you got that card to play. You can make a change, much like Rob Thompson's ascension to that seat. It was they played the card in June and they went on a run. So like I said, I'm okay with it. I think the team plays for him. I think the effort is good. I just think, when the pressure of the postseason has eaten this team up, and they have not hit and they have not executed fundamentally. And a lot of that, it will reflect on a manager, but I think you have to take into account that the players, these games are often won and lost by players too. And their big guys have not won these series.
Yeah. Have you done a lot of thought about how you would reshape this club? Because again, I don't know what kind of maneuverability you have. There are guys that you want to bring back, and you got to be careful about being the same team. Like, because if you come back as the same team, you're not going to win. Like we saw it before. Like you got to shake it up. But how you shake it up is really the question.
It's very hard because it remains, Anthony, a very inflexible roster.
Yeah.
The tradable pieces you have, kind of mid-career guys not making huge money. I wonder how much value there is on those guys. The older guys are that, they're loaded with big contracts and no trade clauses with Harper and Turner. That those contracts are just untradeable in my mind. Aaron Nola, with his decline and his big money, he'd be difficult to trade. And I also think you need the pitching depth because you don't know what Wheeler's going to be like, and you don't know what Nola's going to be like. So, I think they're going to – I'd be surprised if Castellanos is back. I think they could look to maybe make a move in the bullpen. Maybe, Matt Strom to me would have some value to other teams. I think Alec Boehm for the second year in a row, their ears will be wide open and they may be proactive in looking to deal him. Rob Thompson's back. There may be some moves on the coaching staff. I think they would be more than open to listening on Brandon Marsh. I would imagine they might listen on Bryson Stott, although he had a really good final 2 months. And I kind of like that platoon with Edmundo Sosa. It's not an expensive platoon. And you do, I think it's good to have an inexpensive position on a high-priced roster. So I'm not sure what they're going to do, but they're going to do something to freshen it up and something to change the mix. Again, they tried last year. They ran into the Boehm was the one they tried to move, and they just didn't get offers that they felt matched his value. So they have to do something, but in terms of something significant, it might be difficult just because of where this roster is with its inflexibility. But it's they really do need to start churning it because they're old. They were the oldest team in the majors this year. They're going to be a year older next year. And the clock is really ticking. You have Miller, you have Crawford. It would be nice to start integrating them into the lineup as soon as early next year, maybe with Crawford. I think that young blood, provided they're ready, certainly would help. I mean, Painter's probably going to be here. If he's not, something's wrong. So there does need to be some retooling and transition here, but you cannot go on a rebuild. I mean, Philadelphia's not going to tolerate it. Bryce Harper's not going to tolerate it. He didn't come.
No, that was the like you got to. Well, you think Middleton will increase the payroll?
Middleton won't tolerate it.
Right, like
he wants a championship.
Like,
and they still have tread on their tire. To me, they have tread on their tire as a championship core. They just need to get back there and they need to play better. They need to deliver. They need to clutch up. They can't,
But I got to ask you a question. Like, to me, the biggest need that they need is a true protector for Harper. He's your biggest investment. And, Boehm killed him. It just killed him. Like, obviously part of it's on him, but Boehm killed him. Like, he
didn't have a good year. I mean, the previous 2 years, he drove in 97 runs 2 years in a row. Those are good years. And the fact that he's not a big strikeout guy and he's more of a contact guy, that is attractive in the middle of the order. But he didn't have the year he needed to have this year. Didn't have the year they needed him to have. And, you wonder if he's plateaued a little bit. I've always thought there was more there. Even when he was
I did too.
even when he was hitting 44 doubles, driving in 97 runs, I still think there's more there. But, you know, it might be time there. But they've been looking for a right-handed bat each of the last 2 off seasons. You know that. They got a good little run out of Harrison Bader. I don't know if he's going to be back. I don't know if he's the answer. I mean, he does have sort of a up and down track record. I think they caught him on a high point here, this down the stretch here. But, you know, in a fantasy world, you could maybe get Pete Alonso to come in there and protect him. How would that look with Harper going back to right field?
That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, like,
I don't know if I want to do another huge long-term contract when they're already getting so old. I mean, if I could get them on a a high value AAV shorter term, I might think about it. If Harper would go back to right field, it's certainly something to think about. But, you know, Harper's older. I mean, what's he going to look like in right field? I don't know. There's so many unanswerables, and I just, you know, but a bat like that would really look good.
Aren't you almost forced to do something like that? Like, you're already highly invested in this group. You know, yeah, you're right. What's it going to look like in 5 years? I don't know, or 4 years?
I can't do a 5-year deal. I got to do, if I'm doing a big money deal, I'm thinking short, because you still got to deal with Schwarber. They still like to do something there. Now, if he goes somewhere else, you know, that changes the tune a little bit, but they definitely.
No, I think you need Schwarber and Alonso, and then say, here you go. This is it. Like, let's go for it.
I agree. You can't leave this core dangling. You're going to have to augment it in some way. I'm just really fearful of the ages.
I know. I don't know how you get around it though. Like, I don't know how you
short terms. But then you're paying bigger.
Yeah, if you could do it.
AAVs.
I mean, I don't know if these guys are looking for long-term deals, but if I can get them, I agree with you. That's the way to attack it. But if I can't and I'm forced, I almost have to bite the bullet because I can't not win right now. Although the rebuild was too much. Like, you can't go to. You said it. Like, you can't go to a rebuild. First of all, you don't have the prospects to go into a rebuild.
Well,
and you still got great pitching.
I just don't know that a rebuild can be tall. I don't know if I know the owner doesn't want to go that route, and the payroll is still so steep that just to basically downshift into a rebuild when you still have, you know, a core that does have some years left on it, it would be just too much to ask. They need to keep pushing forward here. It's almost like a catch-22. You need to keep pushing forward until you win something. And at the same point, you need to try to integrate a couple of young guys into this lineup here soon as well.
And you can't go. I mean, they got 96 wins. They're
not going rebuild. They're not going rebuild.
Let's not even
talk
beating the Dodgers. They can't go rebuild.
They're not going rebuild. I don't even know why, but they're not going rebuild.
I just like with the young guys you mentioned, Crawford. Crawford doesn't really help them. I don't think he's a difference maker on this team in this series.
They're not bringing him to be. They're not bringing him to be
just a slap hitter from the left side. I mean, I feel like Taylor Ward's been out there forever. He's going into the last year of a contract. Figure out a way to get him for a year. He'd be perfect behind Bryce.
Perfect. I think he strikes out a lot, doesn't he?
That's okay. He hits like 36 bombs.
I'll say.
Who doesn't strike out these days, Jim?
There's a few guys that don't much, but I was looking at that Luis Ariza's numbers. He's amazing. He never strikes out. But,
another lefty.
They're not rebuilding, and Crawford's not coming to the major leagues to be a savior. He's coming to be a good, to be maybe better than what you have in the bottom third of the lineup.
And cheap.
What are we talking? I mean, I know the payroll's high, but they're not losing money down there. This is not a franchise that's losing money. Ticket prices as a season ticket holder are going up the last 2 years significantly. TV revenue is crazy. They're not losing money. The Dodgers don't seem to have a worry about spending $390 a year. They defer it for 10 years. They figure out a way to get it done. Move Howie into the Phillies front office. Figure out a way to get it done.
Those deferrals might come back to bite them, but they might have three World Series. They might have three. So they had one a couple, 2020. They might, last year, they might have another one this year. And the Phillies are willing to play that game. They're willing to pay big. And they want to have a World Series to show for it. This owner wants a World Series to show for it. He's said many times, money is not the object. I want to win a World Series. So they are going to keep trying. They are not going into a rebuild. And I expect them to be active on the Schwarber front and something else in the batting order because they know they need it.
Yeah, their pitching is still going to be good. Like they're still going to have good pitching.
Yeah, they should. Depending on what Wheeler looks like, and you got to cross your fingers he comes back looking like Zach Wheeler. But Luzardo's a good pickup. Sanchez is a dominant lefty. I think Nola at this stage, I think you have to kind of tamp down your expectations and almost say, okay,
yeah, we
got the best number 5 starter in baseball. We're going to look to get him 5 innings every time and see what happens. I think we have to alter our expectations there, and Painter maybe comes along, and I would have the same approach with him out of the gate. Like, give me 5 good ones, because you're going to be watching his workload a little bit, and then as the season goes on. Maybe you have a better read on those guys, but their starting pitching is still pretty good. I don't expect Ranger to be back. That'll be a loss, I think, but they'll do their due diligence and see what it takes to bring him back. But I think he's probably got a little wanderlust in his eyes. We'll see.
How about Schwarber? You think the Reds, who are notorious, they usually don't spend that kind of money? You think that they would go all in?
It would be a change of course for them. I've spoken to people in the Reds organization, and they agree with what we see. This guy would be almost like a Jim Thome-like signing for him, from the batter's box to the locker room to the community. I mean, he's raised right outside the city, but it's just not their MO to spend what it takes. And, you're probably looking at a 4-year deal at 30 plus per. And the Phillies, I think, probably would do that. And but there's other teams, including the 2 teams in New York, Anthony, both would be fits for him.
Yeah.
Both would be fits for him. So there's going to be, a lot of people say, you get a DH 33. What's the market for I think he's not going to have a huge market, but I think that the right teams are going to be on him. Maybe even the Cubs. So the right kind of teams are going to be on him, that he's going to have a choice, and he's going to be plenty attractive from competitive teams.
I'd be disappointed if he went to Cincinnati. The way they got blown out by the Reds, like he's not competing for a World Series with the Reds next year.
I hear you. Stakes, we love you. Great work as always, buddy.
My pleasure.
All right.
How about those Flyers last night? I was watching that third.
Fly guy.
So little known fact, I love the Flyers. I thought they looked in that third period, especially the final 10 minutes, they looked like they were having fun, and there was a looseness to their play that I have not seen in a few years.
Talk it. All right. How about Zegras? How about that pass? Was that ridiculous?
Took a hit, found that, through traffic. Yeah, got it to Couturier. It was a great play. Couturier played a great game.
They're going to be fun, man. I'm telling you. And next year, they're going to have a lot of money to spend. So
I hope so, because I spend my winters watching the Flyers.
Well,
and then when all those years when I would go to spring training around February 10th, I would switch over and watch all the Lightning games.
Well, I'm going to get you to a Flyer game with me this year. All right?
Yeah, we'll drink a Labatt Blue, the official beer of hockey.
Sounds like a plan. Love you, Stakes. Thanks, buddy.
See you guys.
There he is, Jimmy Stakes.
Rebuild, jeez, man. What's going on today?
I don't think they're doing that.
How do you rebuild when you got 96 wins? Come on. That's not rebuild time.
No, you can't rebuild. You got too much invested.
Yeah, they're gonna give I know they went out in 4 games, but their games were so close with the Dodgers. They're right there.
Like, you can't rebuild. I don't know what to do. Like, you can't do it.
If you think about a rematch, I know, run it back. No one wants to run it back with Topper, but seriously, if Wheeler and Alvarado were here this year, and they're going to be here next year,
right, like
that's substantial upgrades for the postseason.
Topper, I don't think I said it in the beginning. Like, I don't think he's an issue.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to preclude you from winning.
No,
all right,
I agree.
Like, I know the chat, but I get it. Like, the emotion is I want change. I understand that.
Yeah.
The issue is the lineup. You got to fix the lineup.
100%.
The pitching is going to be great. I have no problem with the pitch. I know we talk about it. Your pitching is going to be really good. The issue is the lineup. You got to get a lineup that works.
Yep.
And Dombrowski, God bless him, has not done that.
They asked Murphy about the manager of the Brewers about the Phillies and Ohtani's struggles. And he was like, I wouldn't say it's Ohtani struggling. He's like, they got Suarez, Sanchez, and Luzardo. They're really good pitchers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now you just need a lineup
Yeah.
that they can plug in. All right. Time now for the brain.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
Brought to us by the Bet Park Sportsbook Online Casino app. My man, the brain. Good morning, brain.
How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
Good to see you, bud. Good to see you. What'd you make of last night's football?
Man, what I mean, oh, I guess Buffalo, obviously, again, look, the NFL I will say this, I have bet the Patriots at 15-1 to win the division before the year. After like 2 games, I'm like, oh, I guess I had no chance on this one, but now they're right back in it. There's just so much parity in this league, Anthony. You see it week in, week out. Buffalo, a team that people thought was the best team in the AFC, really got outplayed. I mean, it wasn't like, it kind of reminded me of the Eagles game. There was no fluke to me. I mean, I thought Atlanta deserved to win. It should have even been by higher margin. And then the other game, Washington was getting killed. They made a nice comeback, and then they turned the ball over. I don't think the Bears are very good at all. But neither is Washington. Again, that's what I'm saying. For the Eagles' point of view, at least they're in a division where I don't think any of these teams are that good. And again, no team. You see Detroit has all these defensive injuries. Green Bay, I can't figure out why they're not better than they are. I think they should be better than they've been playing, if that makes sense.
I almost think
so
Green Bay,
parity
I got an eye on Green Bay because I think Green Bay goes on a run. Like I could see them kind of going on a run.
They have, Anthony, again, they certainly have the pieces. It's just I don't know, maybe just like to see a little bit more offensive spark, but maybe they just don't have that. I'm not sure, but just the league itself.
They're working Golden into the game. Like they're working him into the game plan. So you're seeing him kind of start to contribute.
That's a big thing for them. But you see like Kansas City, who everyone, including me, wants to just write off. I'm like, all right, the Chiefs are finally done. And then you see them, they're getting Rashee Rice back this week. Mahomes look like he's playing great.
Dude, they're going to win again. They're going to win the AFC again.
If you're looking for me to argue, you're going to hear nothing. I mean, I'm done fading that team. And again, you could make the argument, if they have Rice, they haven't had Rice and Worthy healthy, correct?
No.
Yeah, Worthy was rookie last year. Yeah, right. Yeah, they haven't had these guys healthy. And then you make Brown and Kelsey the third and fourth receivers. I'd love to see a little bit more of a running game, but again, beggars can't be choosers. But yeah, I agree, Anthony. They should be the favorite, probably. I don't think with Baltimore looking like they're in big trouble. I can't argue that.
Yeah, it's wild,
if Denver had Drake May, by the way, if Denver had Drake May, that's the best team in the NFL. But they don't. But that's a team I really like, but I just don't like Bo Nix watching.
I'm not in love with their receivers. I mean, I like Sutton, but that's their weapons. They don't have.
I'm not in love with the receivers, but I love their defense, and I love the running game. I love the offensive line. I think they have the best defense. I like the coach, and
he's a very good coach.
I think the quarterbacks held them back because I actually think they really should be undefeated if it wasn't for the quarterback. But
yeah.
Speaking of quarterback, how about the Shedeur Sanders? Shedeur Sanders didn't want to go to Baltimore because he wouldn't play, and he'd be playing right now.
You're not lying.
It's the truth. He would. He'd be playing.
Very much the truth. But Anthony VG, by the way, it's funny, and Anthony, I know I texted you when I was watching Blake Snell pitch against the Phillies. I'm like, this guy's just again, even his strikes, you can't hit him. And then I'm watching the game last night. I was going back and forth, and I'm like, this guy's the way he's pitching right now. These things go in streaks, but the way he's pitching right now, this guy is truly unhittable. Like I'm just in awe when I watch him. I just think he's phenomenal. Dodgers, I can't stand them, but
I know. I keep hoping the Brewers have some magic in them. I don't know. Hang on one second.
Did you watch the ninth inning, guys? Did you guys see the ninth inning?
I didn't. Hang on one second. We're in overtime. OT. Make sure you follow us if you're watching anywhere else. take us to YouTube and hit subscribe and like. We need it, so it helps us with the algorithm. Now, I didn't see it, Brain. I had Flyers and football, and then I was in my rotation.
Flyers? Yeah, well, I just have to say real quick about this. They took out Sasaki and they brought in Blake Trinan again.
Right. I was like, they're going to bring in Trinan again.
Yeah.
Like, but the approach the Brewers had with Sasaki was good. They were patient with it.
Yeah, you got to be patient.
They got to him, man.
I'm telling you, the Brewers aren't out. The Brewers aren't out.
Oh no, I agree. They're just a tough team to go against, but I really thought they were going to blow that game with their bullpen last night. I don't like Dave Roberts as a manager. Weird stuff.
No, and their bullpen's susceptible. I think they win today. I like them against. I think Peralta wins.
We didn't really get a chance, Anthony, to talk about it, and I'm going to wrestle with you a little bit because I respect your opinion a ton. I do, but the Phillies Dodgers. Again, it's just the way my brain works. I look at it, not the result. I look at what should have happened. Out of those 4 games, I think the Phillies should have won. Let's call it, in my personal opinion, 2.7. Or I'm sorry, like over 2.5 of these games. I thought the Phillies were the better team, and they just lost. But I thought they should have won that short sample size. I thought they were the better team. Now they got every break to go against them, conceivably known to God, so they lost. And I understand it's that 4-game series is everything. I get it. Like you don't get a do-over. It's
what are we arguing about?
Well, we have to break. You're basic. I thought you're saying this core with the lineup. And look, I get they didn't score a lot of runs.
You can't bring. No, you have to fix the lineup. This is where we'll wrestle. Like their lineup is not. It's not a productive lineup. They were. What you're seeing is their pitching. Their pitching was elite. Right. Their lineup is not. You have no one to protect Harper. You have Marsh as a 5-hole hitter who can't play. You have Stott who can't hit lefties. You got holes all over your outfield. You got Castellanos who's got to go. Their lineup is not good.
I'm not arguing that, but I agree with your overall points. I agree with what I'm saying is I still feel in that particular series. If I wasn't keeping score, who should have won? Like what should have been the result,
again,
not what the result was.
Because of their pitching. The Phillies pitching is superior. Like I think Snell's awesome. Yamamoto's gettable. The Phillies were able to wait him out.
Got him, yeah.
Yeah, Ohtani. But the Phillies bullpen is better, and the Phillies have better depth in their starting pitching.
Yeah. Well, that was to me the Dodgers got away with it. Yeah, no, it's amazing. That's amazing. You're right. Without Wheeler, you're absolutely right.
But they were able to use Ranger in that spot. Like we're
Topper. Great.
I think about it now. Like Topper should have been in Game 1. Like if you're going to take Sanchez out, you got to go to Suarez there.
Robertson pitching. Robertson was the Trinan thing.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
Jeter went.
They didn't get away with it.
Jeter went off about these managers taking starting pitchers out at like 5 2/3 innings. They give a walk or a home run. He's like, everyone gives up home runs.
Yeah.
He's like, as the other team's dugout, we're dying for you to take that starting pitching out. We can't wait.
Did you see Kevin Gausman, VG? Huh? Did you see Gausman in Game 1? I think it was 5 1/3 innings, no walks, 7 strikeouts, 0 hits. He gives up a hit. You suck. You're done.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like you said, I always say, what would the other team want me to do? Let's think about this. We have a guy pitching a perfect game. Oh, yeah, and he hasn't thrown that many pitches. Let's take him out. Right. Let's bring in some garbage reliever instead. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I
can't stand it.
How about the Terang at bat last night? Bases loaded. Ball should have hit him in like the calf or the thigh.
Yeah, I know. He's like, get me out of the way.
Jumped so far out of it. Would have tied the game up.
Yeah, Anthony, it was Anthony.
All you can think of, Chase Utley would have not flinched, not moved at all.
Why wouldn't you?
The ball was coming right at him.
Dude, he jumped so quick.
It was coming right at him. He was like a whatchamacallit, a Cirque du Soleil contortionist to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm not getting hit.
The postgame, Jimmy Rollins like, I played with a player who would have not gotten out of the way of that ball.
Don Baylor would have
tying run. It would have been a tying run.
Don Baylor would have eaten the ball, but no, he. But you know what it is? In fairness to that's like probably human. Like
instinct.
You really just can't blink with that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just,
but I
you
get,
know,
like if it's at your
but
if it's at your head or something,
Yeah.
your lower body.
Yeah, take it. No, and Chase would have talked. Chase all day long.
Yeah.
Chase would have took it off his
yeah, no,
shoulders.
100%.
Like he would. Like that's where your baseball acumen come into play. And bases loaded.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see that.
Bottom of the ninth.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I would be out of my mind. If I was a manager, I would have been out of my mind. What are you doing? Oh man. All right. What is your early read on Eagles Vikings?
I bet the game. I bet the Vikings. I think this line again. I bet the Vikings getting plus 125. I also like them getting 2.5. I think it's a 50-50 game. It's just, first of all, this version of this Eagles team, Anthony, and I'm going to make them show me that they can actually put together one good game. I'm going to make them show it to me. Now, maybe they will, and I don't love the Vikings. Vikings have been very but I just don't trust this Eagles team. Things go in streaks. They absolutely could go through a great streak where they get hot, but not this spot, not today. I think it's a 50-50 game, and I lean Vikings to win, so I'll take plus 125.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean,
I don't want to.
It's nothing personal. Again, yeah, I just think it's 50-50 kind of game. And
I'm scared
why
to
should
death
Eagles
of
be
this
favored
game.
by 2.5 points on the road in this game?
Yeah.
Why should they be favored?
I know, because they're the champs. And sometimes what happens is you get these lines that are wrong because you keep overvaluing last year.
Yeah, correct. It's exactly right. You keep overvaluing last year.
There's also Carson Wentz or J.J. McCarthy involved on the other side. It's not like
it's
Drake May over there.
You're right.
Yeah, but if you had a front that was healthy and deep, I would say
and what's the story with is Mitchell, Anthony? Is Quenyon Mitchell going to play?
We didn't heard.
Probably not.
I would doubt it, but we'll see.
Right. I mean, I just can't back again. Who's the better team? Of course, the Eagles are the better team. But to me, this is the worst version of the Eagles.
I know. I'm scared to death of it.
And that's all. I'm just trying to be. I'm trying to be
Yeah,
fair.
no,
Again,
I'm scared to death
maybe in
of it.
2 weeks, I think the Eagles would kill the Vikings.
Yeah,
but not this week.
Yeah, I'm scared to death of it.
You like any of the trash games tonight?
No, I didn't bet the trash game tonight.
Little Hilltoppers, Western Kentucky.
No, but that's your special. But I do think the Dodgers game will go under with Peralta and Yamamoto. It's 7.5. Again, I picked the wrong over/under yesterday with the Blue Jays. The Dodgers game was 2-1. But I just think these games are usually tough to score. And again, I think Peralta will have success. I think Yamamoto should have success. I think it'll be a low scoring, another 3-2 kind of game. I like the under in tonight's game.
What are the Dodgers the favorite? What are they?
Dodgers minus
Dodgers are
126, I think, last time I saw them.
Yeah, I like Milwaukee. I like the Brewers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough game.
Up
Again, I respect both pitchers here.
Yeah, I think they're going to get to Yamamoto.
Very possible.
Brain, always great visiting with you.
Appreciate you both.
Well, we'll
Appreciate
talk,
you guys both. Be good.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later. Here he is.
Go
Brain
Flyers.
brought to us by the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Oh, man. I'm worried. Like, I can't shake the worry. The Eagles worry.
About this week or the season falling off a cliff?
This-
You were saying it's not going to fall off a cliff because of the defense this year.
Yeah, except their defense is banged up. That's why I was so convinced it wasn't 2023, because their defense could bail them out. But the defense can't bail them out if you got no Quinyon in the back and Jalen Carter's not himself.
Need the Price is Right music, that cliffhanger dude. Remember,
Oh, man. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit.
People like, they say you got a Cassie look going on today. They say, how could Cuz take shots at Cassie when he's got the collar open, a little Cassie vibe going on?
Channeling Cassie.
Hey, can we say this about the Flyers? There's a nug I sent over to Andrew. I think this is super cool. Did you see what they're doing post game with the Star today?
Yeah.
They're giving out a Bernie mask.
Yeah, I love it.
That is awesome.
Awesome.
They gave it to Kuz, but he deferred and gave it to Vlad.
Yeah.
Vlad's on team. He should be on Team Dracula, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's the mask they give around. That's awesome.
Isn't
man.
that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Birdie mask. That's way cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Empty the bladder.
Empty the bladder. Vlad, Team Dracula.
Yeah, man. He's got.
I like Vlad.
Yeah, I'm down with Vlad.
Yeah. I like this team.
I feel good.
Can I just tell you? And tomorrow we're going to dive into it. But I have a weird optimism about the winter.
Don't tell me.
Yes.
Don't. You saw
both.
You saw him make the one dunk with the thin knee brace on. And you're back.
Hip hop's back, and here we go.
Hip hop coming back is such great news. I love hip hop.
The original Bad Bunny.
Yes. And you're back with the Sixers.
I got to tell you. Just say the East is weak.
Here we go.
I can't get sucked into that.
Here we go.
I'll take the Flyers. Optimism.
Yeah, I'm down with the Flyers.
No, I'm getting the old Flyer. And I got to tell you.
You all Paul Georged up.
I think he's going to have a good year.
Oh, man.
I might tell you, I think I'm this close to being back to playing the song.
Of course you are. You can't help yourself. You're an addict.
I'll get the warning ready.
I'm this close.
We're gonna be
to
using it a
playing
lot.
the song.
Oh my God.
I'm even willing to give Nick Nurse a clean slate.
Oh man. Wow.
Whoa. As soon as he drops into his zone against a good shooting team.
I don't know. I'm feeling optimistic. Time now for the our back in the day moment.
We're going back. We're going back. We're going back in the day with True Mark. Oh yeah!
I gave a late minute addition. Did you get that one, Andrew?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Sweet. So came across the timeline. It's an anniversary. It's a feel-good event from a right-handed bat.
This is a tough one to bring up, man.
Yeah,
This
happened
is
3 years ago today.
Can't believe you would use this one.
You got to.
You could have done something else.
Now you got me nervous.
Fastball hit to left. It is long gone.
Wow. Reese.
Anniversary of the best spike. You got it.
I think you got it. Yeah, I agree. I like it. Oh, is that big game?
Dude just texted me and you. I start hearing Sixers talk. I'm out. People want me to check your forehead to see if you're running a temperature.
The bat spike, Reese.
Yeah, I mean, you probably get him.
They could have used Reese this year.
Well, until you see him butcher a couple balls at first base.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they needed, I know, but they needed right-handed power.
Yeah. Would you swap Schwarber for a right-handed DH? Alonso, if Alonso comes in and plays DH, you swap.
I need Schwarber, and I think the only way you can go into it next year and excite people and go, all right, this is it, is having both those guys. I don't know. I mean, I think that's kind of industrious.
Look at the payroll.
And that Japanese kid, that third baseman that they've been looking at and they've been talking about.
Though. I get it, but he's
you need right-handed. You need right-handed. Your lineup is out of whack. It's out of balance.
Yep.
And that's ultimately what killed them. They couldn't hit. All right, it's going to do it for us, everybody. We love you, chat. Nice job, guys. Don't forget, Bits and Complaint line. So hit us up with your videos so we can start playing them. All right, every day. All the stuff that's happening, how you're feeling from sports to life. Send them over to Andrew.
You're excited about Topper? Let's hear your excitement. Celebrate.
You can get a hold of me. You can send your content to me at andrew@allphly.com. Or you can send it over to our Twitter.
All right. We like it. All right, everybody. We love you. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.